Yeah, welcome to the Boar's Nest, everybody. My name is Bubba Duke. Back live, large and in charge, living the life, living the dream. Hoping everybody's had a good week. If not, hopefully this will brighten your day up just a little bit more. You know, you know how things go here. Just kind of winging it in the Boar's Nest. Don't really have much to do today. I do have some things I want to bring to everybody's attention. Just trying to find it here. Hold on a minute. I am looking. I had it all set up and I had a technical difficulty with my laptop and it went and took a big dump on me here. And I ended up having to restart every single piece of my equipment that I run here. Like right down to my TV sitting beside me, I had to restart that. Like it was pretty harsh. So the last couple weeks I've been throwing this up down at the bottom of my screen whenever I do a show. I show this. So if you go to here, you can find some great uh, merch for Turnbuckle Studios. If you're a part of Turnbuckle Studios, this is where you find your merch at carlcarfelt.redbubble.com. Okay, so you get your merch. You can get merch for any show that's on Turnbuckle Studios. That's everything. Like, and I went. Oh, not that package. I have another package here too. I have a fan that went and ordered some stuff. I got a bunch of decals with my logo on it, so you're gonna see that on like coffee mugs or my water bottle, or you're gonna see that stuff everywhere. But in this bag, I'm gonna back up a little bit here because I know I'm touching my mic a bit. Is that's a T-shirt with the logo on it, people. I got it. I got a Boar's Nest T-shirt. Now it's not black. You can get it in black. You can get it in whatever color you want. Okay. I don't care what color you get it in. I prefer black because that's just who that's you get, that's who I am. I like the black. But I got a white Boar's Nest t-shirt that that's cool. That's beyond cool. So I want to thank Honey. Honey got it for me. You've seen her on one show. She's kind of camera shy. She's not sure about wanting to do the live stuff anymore. So I told her she didn't have to, but she went and got me this. Awesome. Like, how cool is that? So I'm gonna be repping the Boar's Nest when I wear that when I go out, hanging out with my buddies. Yeah, and I do want to apologize. I got a package in, and it's the Twilight Zone, that kind of stuff we've been doing, and just having fun. But I am been pretty busy lately with my shoot job to the point where I haven't been able to do any research. So I had my t-shirt come in. Now I could show you guys what it is, or I could wait, do my research because I got a couple days here now that it's the weekend, and we could just chill and I can look shit up. Um, so I think what I might do is I might just do my research, put it to the side, and plan a good show, get some really good content. Today's show, I was hoping to have somebody here to gab back and forth with, shoot the shit with, and just have a boar's nest where we're like sitting around drinking a coffee or a beer, talking about the old ladies, that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna throw out here. I know a lot of people. I got two people in my chat room. I don't know where they're watching from. One is on Twitch and one is at YouTube. Please feel free to interact. There is a little on that side over there. There's a place for you to interact with myself, Bubba Duke. I will even put your comments up if you like that, and we can all have a good conversation, which would be cool, I think. So my thoughts here. I'm gonna start with WWE and what I've been hearing over there, and that kind of thing, and just have some fun. Oh, we had somebody that was gonna jump in, and then they left. Okay, no problem. If someone jumps in and you want to go on camera and your camera's all set and you're ready to go, give me a thumbs up and I'll introduce you and we will have some chit chat here. But WWE, okay, so how many of us really think Vince is gone? I personally don't think Vince has completely and or totally left the picture. I think he is still a major part of what goes on in WWE, even though he doesn't have a quote unquote title anymore because he had stepped down. Um, Good for Triple H for changing some things up at I think it was SummerSlam that I just watched. Yes, I actually watched it because I heard Vince had been booted, so I caught most of it um, with everybody that I know that broadcast. We all kind of had a big party and got together and watched it. Um, so I was impressed. You could tell there was a Triple H vibe. I know I'm way behind with every. You guys are way ahead of me. I don't care. I just think that this needs to be reviewed again. For the short time that Triple H had to adjust things to the way he wanted it, good for him. It was very well presented to I myself. I enjoyed the presentation again. And I have actually been catching Raw and SmackDown. I got, and I'll reach up here because I have my own TV in my office here. I got one of these, okay, and I hit that little red button up here on the top, right there in the middle, to record SmackDown and Raw and and NXT 2 point whatever the fuck it is now. And I've actually been catching quite a bit. Um Hey, it's our friend. Look who's here, everybody. Astrid is here. She in the house. Thank you for showing up, sweetheart. I actually miss talking to everybody over there at the unnamed thing because I'm not allowed to talk about it on here. I was asked not to. Um. So anyway, yeah, we won't get into that. I don't care anymore. Um. But I think the presentation that Triple H and Stephanie tried to give the people, even though 90% of what was going to happen was already laid out by Vince before he decided to retire, which, in my opinion, he should have been forced to retire years ago. And we wouldn't have a lot of the issues we have with wrestling as far as WWE is concerned. Melissa Wright, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you made it. I'm happy to have people come into my show and interact and be part of what's going on. Please feel free to throw out whatever suggestions or topics you want to talk about. This is just an open forum today. I just want to cover everything that we can as far as like different products. I'll talk from New Japan to indie wrestling to movies to Twilight Zone stuff to whatever. It's the Boar's Nest. It's a bar. As you can see, I got my Coors Light banner behind me, repping the Toronto Raptors when they won the championship. Um, because I mean, who doesn't like a good basketball game every now and then? What's this? NJPW says less. Meatballs is here. Laugh aloud. Nice. Okay, so but yes, I've been catching some Raw and a lot of SmackDown. I am really starting to get back into the WWE wrestling. It's starting to be more entertaining for me again. I have I'm appreciating what they're doing, where they're going. Whether it's going to be The Rock that comes back and whoops on the head of the table, Roman Reigns, takes his titles from him, does a little run with it, and then loses it to Joe Blow, whoever. Uh, I could get behind that. I could get behind The Rock coming back, or John Cena coming back, or both of them, and whooping either one, whooping and getting those titles, doing a short run, handing it off to somebody different, and Roman goes off and does whatever Roman wants to do now. Whether that's change companies, whether that's retire because he's not a very good entertainer. Uh, I don't know. I don't. It's just a personal opinion on Roman. Guy's got the look. Guy's got some skill, yes, but he's not very good interacting with people. I find he's very off as far as that goes. But it is entertaining, and it would have been cool to watch him lose the titles when they came to Canada, or when they come to Canada, because the Usos can't get in because of their record. Yeah, boys, you can't get a record for driving under the influence and expect to be able to come into every country and just work. Okay, let's see. Melissa has, and I know this is Meatball, actually. Roman should uh, hair care product endorse hair care products. Post them. You know what, bro? That dude's got some killer hair. I agree with you. He needs to just do commercials, bro. Like that's where you should have started. He does have some killer hair, but I mean, again, this is because he's Hawaiian, he's Samoan. They got crazy fucking hair, those guys. Like crazy hair. It's incredible. I wish I had that hair, but no, underneath this hat, y'all, I'm almost as bald as a motherfucker. The baldest guy you could think of, cue ball, like that's all. I got a little bit of hair right down here, and in the back, and then I got this killer beard I'm trying to grow. And that's about it up here. There's not much up here, not much. It's kind of funny. Um, but Jay and Jimmy and Roman and Paul Heyman, cool group. Yes, the bloodline. That's awesome. I love how they brought the uncles into it, and the uncles handed it over to Roman and said, "You're the head of the table now." Blah blah blah. Cool storyline. Again, I don't think it would have worked if you didn't have Paul Heyman there running the show. Basically, I mean, yeah, you got Roman Reigns as your universal, undisputed, whatever the fuck you want to call him right now. Um, and you got the Usos who have both tag titles. I think they just need to get rid of both titles, make it one. Have a have the strap half blue, half red, whatever, blue, red, however they want to do it to make the product together. Get rid of both those belts, redo the design of it, refresh the tag division as far as those titles go. Same with the WWE and the heavyweight title, like whatever they call them now. And because I don't care, I got blue and black. That's you know what I mean. Like I'm that simple. I don't care. And get that show on the road where you're fighting for both titles. I agree with you. Heyman makes up for Roman's lack of charisma. Yes, see, and that's what I'm saying. You just said it a little more elegant than I did because I'm not good at that. There, the spicing. I'm not good at that shit. So thank you for clarifying. But yeah, we're both right. Heyman But again, Paul Heyman, you take Paul Heyman, you could stick him with a giant turd, and this guy will make that turd look like a gold freaking nugget. Okay, let's be real here. If it wasn't for Paul Heyman, we wouldn't have a lot of the wrestlers we have. Let's be honest. When that dude was running ECW and whatever he did before that, he was rocking it. So let's just be honest. Heyman is the man. And if anyone deserves a Hall of Fame induction while you're working, while you're still doing the biz, would be Paul Heyman. I would put my vote for Paul Heyman right now to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Purely off of what he did with the ECW and those wrestlers. Like he had the Sandman. Speaking of the Sandman, where in the hell is this guy? Where'd he go? I haven't heard from him in forever. I hope he's not dead and I just missed it because I really like the Sandman. I actually have his autograph in the Boar's Nest. You haven't seen it in a while. I got it all covered up right now though. But yes, the Sandman. I would love to see him. I'm sure he's wrestling indie somewhere, beating people and with the kendo stick and smoking and and drinking his way to the ring again. He's often never land. You know what? I think a lot of wrestlers, oh my arm, are in that never land right now, just because of how things have gone for them in their life. So yes, WWE. I'm kind of off topic there a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm not holding my breath, but I'm hoping that it gets better. I'm just I'm giving Triple H time to get it to where he wants it, like hiring Shawn Michaels and the Road Dog, and like he's hiring all his buddies to do these jobs for him, right? Like head of personality, head of creative, head of you know. Okay, cool. Hire your buddies. I don't give a care. I don't care who you hire. I don't care. I really don't. But this product needs to step it up. We need to get out of the Vince era and get into, I don't care if you want to call it the Triple H era, the Stephanie Triple H era, the Joe Blow era. I don't care. But we need to get Vince in the background, out of sight. Bye, Vince. Thank you for the years you've given us and the entertainment you give us. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that stuff. I thank you dearly for my childhood and growing up in the Attitude Era, right? Can't tell me I'm wrong. It was incredible. Wrestling was at the top of entertainment at that point. Like Vince did things that his old man couldn't even do, or these other people couldn't do. He elevated wrestling to a different level. And unfortunately, that's the level we all want now because we know that it can be that good. So thank you, Vince, for the years you did give us. Please step aside, let whoever you left in charge via whoever, like it could be Stephanie, it could be Triple H, and whatever. I don't care. Let's get out of the Vince era. Let's get into the new era of professional wrestling. And I'm saying professional wrestling, not this entertainment bullshit. It's got to be pro wrestling. I can't do this entertainment where they talk for hours. Get in the ring, beat the shit out of each other for however long you need to not entertain, but to put on a great wrestling match and get out. Get in, tell your story, get out. That's all I want. Really, people. Like, it's not that hard, right? Or am I asking too much? That's my question. Now, Astrid, are you still here? Because I want to talk some New Japan Pro Wrestling. I need you. I wish you could come on and just tell me what's been going on in New Japan. Like, just give me the lowdown because I have not been able to find anything for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because like I said, my shit crashed. I lost everything. I had all this stuff for wrestling, and I lost it all because my computer decided to take a turd. Okay. Ed was in another chat room. He said, "Have a great show." Ed, thank you. Ed Fry. Jump on the camera then. Yes, Ed, thank you for telling me to have a good show. I appreciate that. I want you on my show one day, man. We need to talk NXT. That's the only reason I don't talk it is because they can go get that shit over where you're doing your show on lovewrestling.com. Or is it .ca? I can't remember. So Melissa, which is Meatball, said he's all about New Japan Pro Wrestling. See? I'm assuming Melissa is your wife. That's why you're using that account. Or that's really creepy because if it's not your wife, you have serious issues, bro. Like split personality problems, maybe. Alter ego. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. Just having fun. The Boar's Nest is all about fun. If you want to jump on camera and talk some New Japan Pro Wrestling with this crazy white guy that doesn't know shit about New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm trying to get into it. I love the. I've watched it. Don't get me wrong. I have watched the New Japan Pro Wrestling. I was an avid watcher. I love their over the top characters. That's what wrestling is to me. Over the top dramatics and over the top intros, that kind of stuff like we had back in the Attitude Era. And with the dress, like how they dress up and how they're how they display their characters, and I think it is epic what they do. Like holy, and their wrestling is professional wrestling. I don't use that for WWE very often because it's entertainment. I don't want to be entertained in that sense. I want to be entertained in the sense of the show, if that makes sense to people. Device not connected. Oh, you're having issues just like I did, eh? Keep trying. But yes, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to be entertained as far as the show. Give me the bedazzled house coats and stuff that they used to wear, you know, like Ric Flair and his coats. Like, dude, where did you come up with that stuff? That was all just, hey, it's for the show. It got to be, you know, bigger and better because I'm Ric Flair. I'm the wheeling, dealing, money stealing. You know what I mean? Like, where would you come up with? That's just total entertainment as far as the show, not, you know what I mean? Not entertainment to be entertained. It's entertainment to get you to draw in more, get you involved in the character more, get involved in the storyline more. Okay, so it's Mel Ball. I thought it said meatball. Dude, I'm so retarded sometimes. That goes with my dyslexia and my ability not to read properly. My brain just added a T in there and A and took things out, and yeah, all right, that's cool. Okay, so let's get. You don't have video, I'm assuming. So let's do this. There we go.
I got it working.
Welcome.
I had to come on. You called me out for NJPW. Here I am. I am here for NJPW. I just woke up though, so I apologize about my appearance.
Listen, you look better than this guy any day of the week, so it's okay. But I'd like to say welcome to the Boar's Nest.
Thank you
It
for having me. I had to jump in again. As soon as I heard NJPW, I'm like, I'm there. Here I am.
yeah, I now I've watched some of it. I'm not a die hard go out and but I'm trying to find a site or something where I can watch this stuff. And where I live, I have like nothing.
That's why you contact Mel Ball and Andre. We got you.
Okay, so fill us in. What's been going on recently to make someone want to go watch New Japan Pro Wrestling right this minute?
Well, right this minute, the G1 just wrapped up. You definitely want to go take a look at that. The last few nights, especially of the G1, everybody just stepped up 110,000%. The last couple matches, especially the final Okada with Will Ospreay, that was a match that we have seen, and some people were kind of certainly going like, I don't know, we've seen this before. Can they do it again? The great thing with someone like Will Ospreay, who we are seeing on AEW now with his faction United Empire and Aussie Open there, um, Will Ospreay has this boundless creativity that no matter who he steps in the ring with and no matter how many times he has stepped in with them, he is guaranteed to give you not only a banger of a show, but he's guaranteed to give you a drastically different match every single time. Andre and I discussed his matches with Shingo Takagi, a former IWGP heavyweight champion. And these two, when they first started their feud together, they were juniors. Now they're fighting at a heavyweight level and it's still that junior style high speed quality match with that really hard hitting kind of style that you're used to with the strong style. So if anyone's looking for a reason to watch NJPW, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, Jay White, another one which we're seeing a lot on AEW. Arguably, those two are the best heels in professional wrestling right now between their ability to wrestle and their ability to talk on mic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Offspray. I've watched him at AEW, and he caught my attention. I was like, "Ooh, who's this guy?" Right,
And that's
like
just the tip. That's just the
right,
tip
like,
of
and
what he can do.
that's well, my friend Carl. You know Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's like my best friend, my brother. Man, we lived together for a while. Even he's the
Wow.
reason I'm on here doing the Boar's Nest, doing my thing. Thank you, Carl. But he even said, "Yeah, no, dude, I've been watching this guy for a while now, and you're getting this much of what you see on top of the surface is just this, and there's so much more to this guy." And I'm like, "Ooh, I can't wait! I can't wait!"
Oh yes, he's definitely like if I could even bring up like a WWE equivalent, one of his longtime rivals, Ricochet. Ricochet is the same way in WWE. You guys have only gotten a fraction. Like if you guys think what he's doing in the WWE is incredible, you've just gotten the tip of what he's capable of doing. If you go
Yeah,
back into the NJPW history, you can see
yeah.
matches with Osprey, and it is incredible,
It's
incredible bouts.
it's kind of funny that you bring up Ricochet, aka King Prince Puma.
Hmm.
I'm actually watching right now Lucha Underground on my
Nice.
free channels I have. It's just before they shut down. Rey Mysterio's there and stuff, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't realize that Ricochet was Prince Puma until my buddy Carl pointed out. He goes, "You know who that is?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Ricochet. I've never heard of the guy." He goes, "Dude, look at his tattoos."
Hmm.
So I'm looking at his tattoos. And I'm going, "Dude, I know somebody else that's got that exact tattoo and that exact." But he goes, "Yeah, dude, because it's him." I've never seen him with his mask off, right? My first exposure was Lucha Underground, and
Hmm.
now I'm
Hmm.
watching him in WWE, and I'm like, these guys are underutilizing this guy so hard. I'm surprised he's still there. Like, if it's not for the money, it's the
Hmm.
exposure of, yeah, I'm a professional wrestler now. You know, And I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. When I heard that they started doing the budget cut stuffs, I honestly started like to think that he would probably be one of those people.
I honestly, I named off like 4 or 5 people, and he's the only one that's left. And I had him as my number one out the door. Like, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I love you to death. You're a great wrestler, great performer, but yeah, you're the first guy I
Hmm.
cut because you don't do anything. If I was the boss. But
Hmm.
again,
Especially the boss at that time, right?
y- right, who's all about fake boobs and big dudes. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to anybody that's got them. I mean, I love them either way, but that's all Vince wanted was
Hmm.
big muscle dummies that couldn't think for themselves
Hmm.
and girls with big fake boobs.
And I'm
And
just going
there
to
you go.
point out, NJPW does have both of those. I mean,
Oh
Peter
no,
doesn't typically come around a lot, but the big guy wrestling that I do see at NJPW is definitely I would say a step up from the big guy quality that I see elsewhere, just because
uh,
of the
yeah,
the ability for them to move.
and that's the thing. You can't. It's like oranges and apples and pears.
Mhm.
Wrestling is wrestling, yes,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it is apples, oranges, because it depends on where you are. In Japan,
Mhm.
I find they're more athletic. Even as
Very
they're
much so.
bigger, you see these guys jumping over the top ropes. You see them high dive stuff. You see everything from them. They're not just big, dumb, dead, you know?
We pick up weight, we throw it over here. We pick up weight, we throw it over there.
Right? Exactly. It's not just generic big guy wrestling. It's,
Hmm.
hey, you little guys can do that. Yeah, watch this. I can do it too. And they do it and make it
Hmm.
look crazy because they're big dudes. Like big dudes don't do that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's the reason I'm getting into the New Japan wrestling is because it's the entertainment of, dude, if I was still wrestling, I could be doing that. And why couldn't I? The only thing that's
Polly
stopping me
Dojo's
from
always
wrestling,
looking for new intakes.
if I didn't have a broken back and a broken neck, I would be all over it. That's what killed my career. Actually got in a bad car wreck, broke my
Oh
back,
no. You could be like
ended it.
Kurt Angle.
Um, if it was just my neck, I probably would have. I probably would still be wrestling, but because it's my back and I lose like right
Yeah.
now, I lost feeling like in this hand right now because of
Ooh,
my
no
back.
bueno.
Yeah, but that's my wrestling name was Bubba Duke. That's why still use it to this day
Oh, okay.
because it's my character, right?
Hmm.
The stupid redneck from the backwoods of nowhere, and I can do whatever I want. Well, I mean, it's a part of me. It's who I am. I like that. I like blowing shit up, and I like fishing and hunting, fixing my transport, and that kind of stuff. But
Awesome.
this is the reason I got into this stuff because I want to talk about the things that
Hmm.
nobody talks about, like New Japan Pro Wrestling. I get over on that other place that I'm not allowed at anymore. They talk about it all the time
Hmm.
because they love
Hmm.
wrestling. So, I mean, what do you do, right?
What do you do? But then going
Um,
back to the big guy wrestling here, I
yes.
mean, they had the addition of Jonah also in the G1 this year, who, I'm not gonna lie, my introduction to him was Bronson Reed. And I haven't honestly watched the WWE product in a very long time because, like many, I've been very, we'll say, disenfranchised with the
Hmm.
product. Um, so I did kind of see clips and pictures and stuff that, he's kind of like the goofy big guy. He
Yeah.
wrecks stuff, but he was kind of not taken seriously, I feel, in the way that a big guy kind of should have. But then when he showed up, like when he left and then showed up on NJPW Strong, he didn't really have the best run when he first showed up. And I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm not really a fan. Now
Mediocre.
you can go back there. But when he came over for the G1 and he brought over, what's his name? Bad Dog Tito, Mad Dog Tito. I don't know. I just
Yes.
call him Big
Something
Teats.
like that. The
Um,
teats.
Big Teats, Big Teats. um, those two, the team, the undercard matches that they had, specifically against Lawler and Royce Isaacs, were incredible bouts, just back and forth of each team trying to get that win above the other one. But
Yeah,
individually, Jonah really impressed me. He was one of my favorites, actually top three performers coming out
oh
of the
wow,
G1 just because of how impressive he was. He was versatile. That was the biggest thing that I got out of him is he had range and versatility. Going into a match with Fale, going into a match with Lawler, going into a match with Jeff Cobb. These are all big, intimidating guys that are, established in New
yeah,
Japan. Fale's been there for years. Jeff Cobb, he came off of a final in the G1 last year, former IWGP Tag Team Champion with Ocon recently this year. But then
yeah,
Tom Lawler, reigning NJPW, or sorry, former NJPW Strong Champion. You had very serious matches with those. But then you have Yano Toru, who's that comedic relief essentially for the entire show. And despite having that comedic aspect to it, Jonah still showed up and he came out of that match still very intimidating, still very dominant, but still kind of had that
yeah.
almost goofiness to him that I saw in WWE that was maybe not taken so seriously. In Japan, they figured out the good combination for that for him.
Well, see, and that's I hate to say this, but that's why a lot of guys go to New Japan to get their
Hmm.
shit figured out because they work with you as a talent, not just this is what your character is to make it work.
Hmm.
You're a big strong dummy. You go in there, throw the guy around, pin him, and leave.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's how many guys could you name off right now that do that in professional wrestling anywhere? Everybody, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
we don't need that anymore. We want guys that yeah are bigger, but that can wrestle,
Hmm.
that can
And
do
it
this
doesn't
crazy.
necessarily mean that they're flipping. It just means that they're
No,
making it more exciting.
yeah, like you could be that goofy. You throw somebody over the rope or something, or they hit the ropes funny, and you go, "Oh, I just did that. That's right, I did that," and
Hmm.
then continue on.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
if there's a mess up, I find we'll call it an accident in the match. I find a lot of big guys can't recover from it.
Hmm. Hmm.
They start
Fale is a great
stumbling and
example of that.
fumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Fale is a great example of that. Once he does kind of lose his stepping, especially when like Fale over the years, he's one of those guys who yo-yos, especially with his weight. Sometimes he's leaner than others, sometimes he's larger than others. I do find when he's larger, obviously, being a former large girl, I kind of know the bits of it. The more weight you have, the slower you're going to be. And the things that you maybe could do when you were leaner, you're not going to be as quick at. And Fale, he's getting to that age where he's starting to not be able to recuperate after that knockdown. So I know what you mean by that because he's
Yeah,
almost like it's almost feels like a throwback to the WWE big guys right now watching
yeah,
him. But
yeah.
everybody who's working him is really picking up that slack also. So you almost don't really notice it.
Thank
It's
God,
really
right?
great. The guys are great experienced out there.
Yeah. So aside from the G1, which I missed, unfortunately,
Mhm.
what else is happening in New Japan? Who are we watching to take a title like their heavyweight title right now? Who's the big guys for that?
Ooh, Um, so Jay White's the current champion. Okada winning the G1 means he gets him at Wrestle Kingdom, but that's
Okay.
like going to be like a good like 5, 6 months away. And Okada is actually taking time off right now. He just had a little baby,
Oh well,
so
congratulations.
yeah. So congratulations, we got the next generation of New Japan wrestlers coming out. But
Good for her.
yeah, I suspect he'll probably take a month or so off in the meantime before he comes back to kind of ignite that feud and start doing the promotion there.
Which is
Um,
good.
yeah, Myself, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, Will Ospreay, great contender. He was a former Rev Pro champion. He held that title for a very, very long time. He is the current IWGP US champion, um, but he is a former IWGP Heavyweight champion, and he is again very, very vocal on the mic. Arguably one of the best heels. Seeing the two of them kind of beak off, I think would be
The
really entertaining.
with
Yeah,
that back and forth
especially
thing.
with the two factions where you've got like Great O'Con and Jeff Cobb and then Aussie Open standing across from them. And then you got like TJP and
He's really picked
Francesco
up his
Hira.
game.
Was that?
TJP's really picked up his game lately.
Oh, oh, oh,
Since leaving WWE, he's a completely different wrestler.
it's funny
Completely
how that
different.
works, huh?
Well, again, it goes to being put in a box. This is all you're allowed to do. Don't do anything more, or we're going to get rid of you. And as soon as you
Hmm.
think outside that box, hey, I have an idea. Okay, bye.
Hmm. It is very unfortunate to see how that has gone with that company because they have taken a lot of really, really incredible wrestlers, particularly from Japan, in Io Shirai, in Asuka, in Shinsuke Nakamura, Kushida, um, Kenta. Kenta, I think, is the most amusing one for me to come out of there because he's the one who's acknowledging it the
Yeah.
most. And I don't know if you guys saw in the G1, I think it was last year or the year before. I can't COVID has messed up my timeline and ability to remember which pay per view was when. But there was a match between Kenta and Lance Archer in the
Okay.
G1 where Archer was getting so mad. It was right after Kenta had just debuted back in New Japan. And he was getting so angry at him. And he goes, "You're not Kenta. You're effing Hideo." And Kenta went off and he beat the holy heck out of Lance Archer. It was incredible.
Wow.
But I think Kenta is the only one who really acknowledges um, his past involvement with the WWE publicly. Like he
Yeah.
will kind of utilize that and his go to sleep shirt with the Florida map on it. I'm sitting there going, what's that a
Oh,
shot
really,
at?
bro? Really, bro? Like,
Yeah, that shots fired.
just keep
Like,
stabbing that shit in there, you know? Like,
yeah,
damn.
get Carl Anderson in there, machine gun that stuff.
Right? Like, really. I,
Yeah.
I I do love that parts of New Japan are in WWE and
Mhm,
they still recognize parts of like they kind of hint
mhm,
to it, but they won't exactly say
mhm,
like when the Bullet Club members all met in the ring the one time and they're all like, "Oh, is this going to happen again? Is it allowed to happen again?" But they wouldn't say, "Ooh, it's all the Bullet Club members. Let's do this again."
mhm,
It was always, "Is it going to happen? Could it happen?"
mhm.
And that was, and then you'd hear nothing about it, you know,
Yeah.
because
I do
they
find
weren't
with the
allowed to.
WW Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
I did find with the WWE, they do have a problem acknowledging things that they didn't create. And it's something that my partner has pointed out to me a lot, is that if they didn't create it, they don't like to market it, which is why, again, a lot of the wrestlers come in and end up with these ridiculous name
Stupid
changes.
names.
And it's like they're completely erasing their career up
Yeah,
until that point, and then there's suddenly that gap because we know once like they leave the company, they're going to probably go back to their original name because WWE copyrighted their name. And where on a business perspective, I understand why it happens. It just seems like such a waste and confusion, an unnecessary confusion for the fans.
yeah. Like for me, when I started doing my research on all these guys that have just come over from New Japan, like all the Bullet Club members and stuff, and I was like, well, why don't they? Why are they not making money off that? Like, dude, you could bring them back together and have a rebirth of the Bullet Club 2.0, whatever you want to name it,
Mm-hmm.
and rack in some huge money off that kind of merch.
Mhm.
make a deal with New Japan, work with somebody, hey, listen, these guys are all here, they want to do it. Can we use the, blah blah whatever? But no,
Mhm.
because like you said, if they don't have the idea and it doesn't come from WWE, they don't want nothing to do with it. Which
Mhm.
is sad because they could have made a shit ton of money off
Mhm.
the new Bullet Club merch and had old guys
Yeah.
come over and fight them, and like the storyline was endless with that, and they just trashed it. They would
Mhm.
tease a little bit and then they go, "No, too bad."
Yep. Yeah.
Like just what's the aside from the Bullet Club, cuz I mean they're everywhere now. Those guys
Yeah.
are everywhere.
Mhm. Mhm.
What's the biggest faction right now that would take like the bloodline would take all the titles? Is there
Right now,
one
the
you can
most
pick out
obvious
or
one is United Empire,
okay.
with Will Ospreay, Great Khan, Hanare, Cobb, Francesco Akira, TJP, and Aussie Open. I believe Aussie Open just won the NJBW Strong Tag titles there in the US. TJP and Akira are the current IWGP Junior Tag Champions. Um, without a doubt, they're going to be having a combination of the four remaining heavyweights going after the IWGP Tag titles, which would make sense. They kind of need that redemption after that loss to FTR. Um, but then you have Will Ospreay, who I think will probably make a really great run with that U.S. title in the U.S. right now. I think they're planning on staying in the U.S. for quite a bit. They're also bringing over the Stardom girls with them, which I'm very much looking forward to having that exposed here, especially because they're going through essentially their version of the G1 right now, which is I believe called the Grand Prix, 5-star Grand Prix.
I've heard about
And
it, to be quite honest. I have.
if you haven't taken it in, highly, highly recommend. There are some incredible women that they have brought in from a few other companies. You got a couple girls from a group called Prominence. There's a few girls from a group called Colors. Um, I had the privilege of actually watching my first match with a girl named Suzuki Suzu yesterday. And man, is she like a combination of Hiroki Goto from NJPW and Asuka?
Oh wow.
She looks wild, but at the same time very reserved, very almost like a samurai in the same way that Goto kind of comes out. But she is tiny but mighty, built like a
Oh,
brick shit house. She hits
nice.
hard. And I was pretty certain I saw her break something because she full on forearmed the ring post and her whole arm turned almost purple. After
I
that point, I was like, she just broke her freaking arm. She went for
dang.
another 10 minutes and completed the match. And she disputed the finish of the match because she ended up in this weird submission. I don't think she tapped. So we're going to see how that
Oh,
kind of plays out. But yeah,
so
they
should be YouTubing this thing and figuring out
absolutely. Oh
watch
man,
this.
and like there's another girl named Hazuki. She's cleaning house right now. I believe she's undefeated in the tournament, even above the World of Stardom champion Suri and Julia. Julia is actually sitting at nothing last I saw. So that's pretty wild considering she's one of the top girls in that company. But it
Huh.
also shows how they're actually letting a lot of the other girls really shine in this tournament, and it's so far been a really, really great treat for me. I'm not fully caught up on it. I'm only on August 11th because of the G1, and then recording shows with my partner Andre about it, editing all that. Took some time,
That's
but man,
always on the go, eh?
always.
That's I actually heard about this all female tournament. I have the ability of XM radio, and I happened to find a sports channel that was talking about wrestling. So
Perfect.
I'm driving and because I drive transport for a living, and
Yeah.
I'm driving, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, all women's tournament. Hmm. That sounds a lot like something else they had, but it sounds way more interesting because it's not
Yeah.
just two companies, it's the world.
Mhm.
Like you could come from an indie company and be able to wrestle in this technically.
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh man, I wish I could catch that. And I forgot about it. And now that you bring it up, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go on YouTube right after the show, and I'm gonna be watching me some, yeah,
Yeah. Highly
Grand
recommend
Prix
it, man. It
because
is
I heard the word Grand
incredible.
Prix and I was like, Grand Prix, that's racing. Like, why do I want to? Why are we talking about racing? And then they started into it, and it's all these women from all over the place coming into. Wow. So next
Yeah.
thing,
Mhm.
because I'm not too familiar with the New Japan stuff. Now, are they bringing? Did they bring, or are they bringing New Japan to the states?
They are
How?
bringing New Japan to the States.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you
they're
heard
having a
how they
show.
are doing it?
They're running a tour. I don't know quite when it starts, just because I have been paying more attention to the Stardom the last few days. But I know that they're coming to the U.S. and I know that they are bringing Stardom with them. Also, the girls are already starting to cut their promos in the ring afterwards. And if you do get the Stardom app, they mercifully do have, like the NJPW, they have English translation on the site. They don't have English commentary. They don't even have Japanese commentary, but they do have English subtitles for whenever the girls do start speaking, especially at the end of the matches, so you know what's going on. But yeah, a lot of them are sitting there saying, "Yeah, we're looking forward to coming to America. We're looking forward to fighting champions." And I believe they're actually going to be having the inaugural IWGP Women's Championship crowned before they go to the United States, so that they can have that champion defend that title in the United States.
See,
Yeah, so some lady is going to get some really good opportunities.
damn,
Yeah,
that's
it's going to be great.
wow. See, now I heard that they were just starting a whole promotion, New Japan America, basically. But
Mhm. They do have a
maybe,
dojo in LA.
well, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, they do have the dojo there. That's where Strong is actually based out of. When they actually started doing Strong, I believe that was where they were actually filming it, was in the
Oh wow,
facility where they were training. Yeah.
wow. Could you just imagine though? Sit back for a second and just think. Okay, yeah, we have New Japan Pro Wrestling that's in Japan.
Mhm.
Okay, and now we're gonna have New Japan Pro Wrestling America. Okay, and it's set. We'll say just for giggles, it's in LA because that's where the original dojo in the states
Mhm.
is. And now you can have guys going back and forth between the states where wrestling's kind of, like an entertainment thing right now, and going back to Japan where they can become these superstar characters, right?
Mhm.
Like I remember catching video of um uh, his name is Chris Jericho.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
remember catching videos of him wrestling, Eddie Guerrero wrestling over there as
Oh,
Dragon Mask.
mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
and then they come here and they take these little nuggets of what they got in New Japan and now they're doing it here.
Mhm.
Could you
Mhm.
imagine how big that stuff would blow up? Like, yeah,
Oh
guys
yeah.
are flipping and doing cool things here, but nothing like they do in New Japan.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't even look the same. Like, it's just completely different. And the best part is, I watched my first year of New Japan was without any commentary. Okay,
Oh wow.
like here, like you could hear them screaming in Japanese in the background, right? And but my thing is, and this is why I like New Japan. I'll put it out there, and if someone doesn't agree with me, then that's fine. Whatever. That's what this show's about. It is. You don't have to agree with everybody, but we agree to respect each other, and that's the biggest thing, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm watching. I was probably 20 at this time, so we're talking like 30 years ago, give or take. And I'm sitting there, and this guy's freaking out. My dad's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Japanese wrestling." And we sat there and watched Japanese wrestling together, no English commentary, and we knew what was going on.
Mhm.
To a T, we knew the storyline that they were trying to tell us. We knew that that was the heel, that was the baby face, and these two guys didn't get along because that guy hit that guy's whatever buddy, and this guy was getting them back. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
just knew. And that's my thing. That's where I want wrestling to get back to, where you don't need and you don't have to have commentary to
Mhm.
know what's going on in the match. Yes,
Mhm.
it's nice to have because they can give you that extra little bit of, hey, did you know that this is why they're fighting?
Mhm.
That little
Mhm.
extra, hey, yeah, he really did hit that guy's girl, you know what I mean? And he's paying him back now.
Mhm.
Like JR and the King back in the Attitude Era. They really didn't need to
Mhm.
be there. They didn't because we knew what was going on. If
Oh
you paid
yes.
attention to the stories, you knew, but you had that extra little bit of, how do you put it? Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. You didn't need that, but it made it
It
what it
did.
was. You didn't have to have that. You knew Stone Cold was coming out because you heard his anthem and he come marching out of there with a couple beers in his hand or on his four wheeler, and you knew that was Stone Cold.
Mhm.
You know, but having Jr. scream that in your ear at that
Mhm.
point, it just made it worth it.
Mhm. It takes the
And
energy from here to the sky.
yeah, and that's what I think wrestling needs, and that's kind of why New Japan for me right now is, and I'm trying to get as much as I can. It's hard. But when I do get to watch it, I literally watch it on mute because I don't have to have that guy screaming in the background. I don't have to
Mhm.
because I know this is going to be an epic match because they and this is what I love about all Japanese people. Period. They do what they love and love what they do. Therefore, you could tell because they put that extra effort into it. It's not
Mhm.
just, oh, this is a job to make money.
Mhm.
This guy is like, this is my life. I've been living it. I've been breathing it. I've been eating it. I've been sleeping it. I just do nothing but wrestle. And
Mhm.
I love it. You can see, even if he's a heel, you can still see
Mhm.
that little twinkle that he has in his eye because he's doing what he loves.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I don't find that too much here in our wrestling little world we have over here in the States and Canada.
Mhm.
I don't see that little. You'll get one or two guys. Don't get me wrong. Like when Eddie wrestled, and yes, I'm going to bring it up. Chris Benoit, when he wrestled,
Mhm.
he had that twinkle in his eye that he was doing
Mhm.
what he loved, and you can't
And
tell
with his
anybody
friend
any different.
too.
Yeah, and he's with his. And that's the thing. Back then, they were all like, and I'm sure now they still are. They're still best friends. Everybody that wrestles together, you become a
Mhm.
family.
Mhm.
So I just don't see that twinkle here in what we have as far as even in AEW, even in some of the little league wrestling that we have here, we don't have that. It's just, oh, I just need money.
Mhm. Yeah, it seems
Where
that like there are certain places where you can see where the passion starts to come in, but it almost feels like um specifically in North America here that a lot of promotions are being dominated by creative teams or creative ideals that are forced onto the other people involved, and they don't actually have the ability to be the character that it was that they wanted to be because they're essentially handed a script and said, "Here, this is what you're doing tonight." But if
yeah,
that doesn't work with what the character is, the show will come
exactly.
off without any luster, without any personality, and that I don't really like because that almost feels like it's giving control to that one person. And chances are that one person is probably working the show and they've booked it in such a way to make everyone else look like shit
Yeah,
so
and
that
he's
they
the only one
look
that's going to
better.
go over. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
there need I agree with you. There needs to go back to a time where the show overall needed to be successful and not just the main event. Because if you can have, like, not every, if you have an 8 match show, not
Mhm.
all 8 matches are going to be bangers. But if you have 3 strong story matches and 5 matches where these people make you believe that they're having a legitimate fight and they're having some kind of way to entertain the fans or
Yeah,
themselves in that period, I'm gonna be happy. But have one of those matches start me off and one of those matches end me off. I'm gonna stay there for the full show. But if you can't keep
exactly.
that attention for me until intermission, I have to make a choice. Was this worth my money and I stay, or do I maybe go back to the ticket lady and be like, this might not have been worth the $20 I paid at the door.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, and I hate to say this because we do have great wrestlers in
Absolutely.
these big named companies like New Japan, WWE.
Mhm.
But you know what? Right now, at this point in time, I've even been asked because AEW is coming to Canada if they haven't been here already. I can't remember.
Toronto, yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't live too far from
Yeah.
Toronto. Okay,
Eh,
I don't live too far. I'm actually Canadian. As you can tell, I got the Canadian flag behind me. Um, I don't live far from there, and I was asked by somebody that I very much respect, would you spend your hard-earned money on a ticket for AEW, or would you spend that money on an indie show that's coming up in like the same weekend? And
mm,
honestly, you know what I said? I go, I love supporting AEW. I absolutely love what they're trying to do over there. Um, Creative is basically listening to the wrestlers and not just saying, "Here you go, this is what you're doing." Um,
mhm,
but I said I'd rather go to the indie show for the simple fact that you can see that twinkle in that guy's eye because he gets to go and do a match that he wants because the promoter goes, "Okay, you are wrestling. You're going over. Figure it out," and walks away. When I
that's
wrestled,
a good thing.
when I wrestled, uh, Carl and I had a plan that we were gonna, go against each other because he's the great Canadian, my character being the great American. Actually wore rebel flag, everything like mask, the whole work. I was the deep south, chubby, fat, redneck, backwood, and he was the great Canadian, the shaven, looked like a superhero basically. And the guy literally went, "Okay, well, you're coming up from down south. You're a heavyweight champion. He's just a yeah. We're gonna get him to beat you just because it's his home turf. Figure out the match, right?" He
Mhm.
goes, "Carl's going over. Figure out the match in between. Tell the story. We want the story. No mic time. Just figure it out in the ring,
Oh, perfect.
right? Like, how much cooler of a match are you gonna get when you go as even if I want to own a company, I want to try it. I have
Yeah.
ideas, and and just go. Okay, you're going over. You're wrestling him. Figure out how it's going to work out. But that's the finish. Is he's going over. I don't care how you do it, whether it's submission, whether it's pinfall, but blah blah blah. Okay, and then what you do is you get everybody together that is going over. Okay, so how are you going over? Are you doing a pinfall, submission, blah blah, right? And you don't have too many where it's the whole night's basically everyone's getting submitted,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm,
Or
mhm.
everyone's doing pinfall. Well, no, you got to mix it up, keep it interesting.
Absolutely. Throw
Because if you
DQ in there.
don't, right, have a guy fall out of the ring and have a guy out in the crowd like try to pretend to hold him down or something so that Buddy could win. You
Mhm.
know, like
Have a Yano spot where he ends up
yeah,
tying someone up in a corner and they can't make it back before the ring count.
you know exactly what I'm saying, and that kind of stuff to me right now is more entertaining than
Mhm.
spending my money on WWE or AEW, or no offense to New Japan, I don't even know if I would buy a New Japan ticket. That one, it's it's
I'd be
it's lit-
front row, baby. Front row.
you know. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably be right there with you. I would probably be right there. My little lady and I would be right there because she loves wrestling, and
You tell
I
me Goto and Ishii and Jay White. Heck, you tell me Bushi's gonna be there. I will be there with my little shoulder Bushi and my Desperado mask. I will be
there you
there.
go. Desperado, that's a guy I haven't heard in forever.
That's a good
Wow,
one. He's a
wow. I've
impressive man there.
he yeah. First time I got exposure to him, I was. You can ask Carl. When I watched New Japan, he's like, "Dude, shut up, sit down and relax." I'm I'm like the super fan. I'll be honest, because I'm yes, I was a professional wrestler. Yes, I was
Mhm,
trained. Yes, I did all that. But I'm a super fan.
mhm.
When it comes down to it, I'm a super fan. I lose my mind. I do. You could ask Carl Kerfeld. He'll vouch. I get retarded when it comes to wrestling. Um, I watched SummerSlam on here with everybody. I think you were part of that, to be quite honest.
I'm
And we weren't doing a show. We were just kind of all hanging out, chit chatting, shooting the shit while it was
trying
playing.
to remember if I was at Beercade or on here.
I can't remember.
I can't either. I've seen
I
a
thought
number of shows and I've been staying up
I think
for
you
the live
were.
shows for New Japan.
I
And
think you
most
were
likely I
here
was. What was the main
because
event for that one?
oh my god, I left before the main event. It was Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and he lifted the ring with the tractor.
Oh, yes, yes, I was on for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You came in for a couple matches and I had to go because I had prior engagements, the little lady and I. But she was
Yes,
sitting here
I
watching it
remember
with
this. I
me.
was talking about theory endlessly.
Yes. Yes. We were. We were. But she was sitting here and I'm like showing everybody, I'm like, that's my woman, she's right here beside me. And something that came up and I was thinking, oh, I wish I kind of was at this match. Because this was the when Triple H got to put his little spin on some stuff. And
Okay.
I think the ending of SummerSlam, that was 100% Triple H as far as I'm concerned. Saying,
Hmm.
Brock Lesnar, bro, you've been here for years. You're not going over. You already know you're not going over, but
Please don't eat us.
how can we make this so that you don't go over, but you're going over?
Hmm.
And he's like, well, remember that time that I drove the out there and messed up the ring? Hey, I got a tractor for rent here. I can like 2 streets over. I can get a tractor and I can lift the ring up and try to hold him down with the ring, but it's not going to work out. And but just I think a lot of that idea was Triple H literally sitting down with these two gentlemen and saying, how can we get this to be epic and not Vinced,
Hmm.
as I like
Hmm.
to say, and everybody else says. And I think they just came up with that literally like the night before the show, and and I think we're gonna see more of this, hopefully, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I think we're gonna see more of this spontaneous things happening within WWE to bring it back to wrestling and the good time. Not just
Hmm.
here's a match, talk, here's a match, another promotion, promote, but and just the dead, beaten out, same old. That horse has been beat enough. Somebody
Hmm.
bury it, please. Like
Like,
I said,
admittedly, I haven't been watching WWE for a very, very long time. I think I canceled my network. I want to
I
say 8, 9 years ago.
I
Um,
had it
but
for 2 years, and then it just got stupid, and I was like, no, I'm done.
mhm, yeah. for myself also, I only had it for the pay-per-views mostly, so that, myself and my friends could watch it at home and have
Yeah,
our little parties, and we had our little traditions and stuff. But once I started dating a wrestler and he shows the pay-per-views at the bar, now I'm part of the
you're you're
hosting
at the
setup there. So,
yeah.
um, but
It
like I agree. I think that these spontaneous things not only are going to happen, but they need to happen to help re-elevate the product back to a point where people aren't complaining about it more than they're hyping it. And I think we're noticing, like at least I am in the sites that I follow. There's been a complete turnaround on the comments for months and months and months. It was just negative, 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 negative. Now it's people are like, that was a great show. That was an incredible moment. This was
yeah,
a great, thing. So I'm like, we're starting to already see a huge improvement just by removing the one figure. It's interesting to
isn't that
see
crazy?
how much control one person clearly had within that company, to see it now almost working functionally as the company it maybe should have been over
Kind
the
of
last
functionally,
little bit.
it's gonna
It's
take a
better
while,
late
but
than never, right?
yes, yes. I guess it's kind of the way to put it. It's better late than him to pass and nothing happens.
Hmm.
Like, because now he's got that influence of this is the way I want my company run for the rest of time, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Where
Hmm.
at least now you got Triple H in there, who's,
Hmm.
as far as I'm concerned, one of the biggest wrestlers next to the Undertaker. Okay.
Hmm.
Like, and there's nobody bigger than the Undertaker other than Andre the Giant. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
it's literally
Hmm.
that way. And now you got Triple H, you got Stephanie, you got Shane O'Mac, my boy. I wish he was still there. And you got his buddies now. You got Shawn Michaels. You got the Road
Hmm.
Dogg come back.
Hmm.
Like, now he's got his buddies back. Who's missing? Well, I don't think he's coming back from AEW because that's where his boys are. But never, never say never, because a friendship like they have might
Hmm.
pull him back. If he goes, Triple H
Absolutely.
goes, here's a contract for you and your boys. Come on over and do what you're doing there, but do it here.
They
Raise
may
some
have
hell
to
here
like
with it.
PGify their name though.
I-
I don't know if Ass
they might
Boys would
change it.
really go over into, well, it probably would, but it wouldn't go over for PBS or Peacock, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I want to say to this. Okay, now that you bring it up, I wasn't gonna say anything, Mel, but you're pulling it out of me. Ah, you're twisting my rubber arm here. Um, you know what WWE needs to do? Fuck Peacock. Get the away from that shit. Put all
Feathers
your
everywhere.
stuff. Put all your stuff back on your network that they've censored. They've drooled all that anything they've touched. Put
Hmm.
it back. Get rid of them. Do it on
Hmm.
your own again. When
Yeah.
WWE was not public, that shit fucking rocked
Hmm. It was good product. It was entertaining product.
because they could do what they wanted.
Hmm.
Who? And here's the thing: when they weren't public, everybody was fighting to get them on their network. Do you know why?
Hmm.
Because they were making money. They
Yep.
were making money then. What are they making
It's
now?
true.
Nothing. Oh, we can't have that guy because he cussed once and his character is scary. Oh my! Shut up. Do what WWE does best and do their own thing. This is what made
Hmm.
them big, and this is what's gonna make them big.
Hmm.
Forget about being public, whatever. Forget it. You did way better
There's
when you were on your own.
there there needs to also be like, because I agree with you. I'm one of those people. I cuss like a sailor. I try
I try not
to
to, but it's
limit
horse nest.
myself on here.
Nuts.
But
It's horse nest.
it makes sense that when you're in a wrestling ring, if you suddenly like Tomatonga, I think is one of the best performers for it. When you end up suddenly in something and you suddenly go, oh shit! Like to me, that kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be swearing that much, especially if you're booking yourself as a children's show. But like
Yeah.
to some degree, you can let it go. Um, I've seen a few indie shows that are like advertised as like all ages shows, and you see the
Yeah.
real little ones come in, and you have the wrestlers dropping f bombs and making racial
Oh yeah. Bro.
subject matter in there, and it's like you guys should probably like. I appreciate it because again, I cuss like a sailor, so it doesn't bother me. I'm the person at ringside chanting "pussy" at somebody who instead of chicken shit, So, but at the
Oh,
same time, like you got to make sure that you're for marketing and business perspective, you got to make sure that at all times, regardless of the rating of the show, you got to take into consideration your audience, obviously, because as we've seen on the internet, some snowflake adults take just as much
oh
offense
God.
as some children. It's one thing to again say it in front of children, but it's another when you have a cancel culture person sitting in your audience trying to come at you because you said something a little wrong. So
Oh yeah. I
yeah,
can.
I do agree with you. I think that like again, I don't watch the product a lot, but from what I have been hearing, a lot of people do complain about the
Yeah.
censorship essentially of the Peacock involvement.
Well, here's the thing. I can understand you wanting to tone that stuff down now. Okay. I
Absolutely.
I can 100% because you got little kids watching it, like
Hmm.
guys like me that grew up through the Attitude Era are like, my kid is 5, 6, 7 in that area, right? So you're
Hmm.
like, hey, come check this stuff out. This is what Daddy used to do, and this is what I used to watch when I was your age.
Hmm.
You know, and I can understand. Okay, I can understand. I don't want people swearing. I try not to swear in front of my kid. I've let a shit out a couple times, and she's copied me. Good thing she's cute as a button because oh my god, I'd be in so much
It
trouble.
helps.
Um, but yes, censor what's going on now. I can to a point. To a
Hmm.
point, okay. I can
Hmm.
understand.
Hmm.
Girl's got her butt hanging out. Okay, listen, you can't be doing that. Come on now.
Yeah,
You're
like bra
you're
and
you're
panties matches. Come
influencing.
on.
Yeah, you're influencing little girls right now. Like, let's not have your butt hanging out or your
Hmm.
shit like shaking everywhere. Cool.
Hmm.
Not a problem. Don't swear. Say poop instead of shit. Butt
Hmm.
instead of ass. Whatever. I don't care. Cool. But to
I'm waiting for
censor
Jinkies
shit,
to come back.
you're waiting for what?
Jinkies.
Dude, that'd be epic. And
The
by the
first
way,
wrestler who pulls out a Jinkies that I hear about, you are getting so much clout from me.
I had a little bit of a crush on her when I was a little guy because
Bring
smart
back
and
the
hot.
Thelma. Bring
God.
back Thelma.
But the problem was they were censoring things that happened in the past.
Hmm.
Okay, like what? Just stop. Okay, we get.
Hmm.
We tell our kids, listen, this is what happened back then, and if you try to do this, this is what's gonna happen now. Like, you're gonna get your
Hmm.
ass beat, kid. Like, don't be doing this stuff. You're gonna get hurt. We were
Hmm.
stupid and started out in backyard wrestling. That's where I started. Backyard hardcore wrestling.
Yardigans.
Yeah, like I was stacking tables up and jumping off of garage roofs from 16 feet in the air. You
Ah.
know what I mean? Like stupid stuff. Don't do that. You'll get hurt. Trust me, I did. I jacked up my back and my neck bad. But why censor stuff like that? Like that's just like saying that the Civil War never happened.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
why you take I get you're taking down the monuments because of the Civil War, but at the same time, that stuff needs to stand to remind us of how bad things were and not to go back there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I never want to see another evening gown match. I never want to see another bra and panties match. I
No.
don't want to see another pillow fight match. The wrestling that I grew up on was, I personally feel insulting to women, and yet I
Oh
still
God, yeah.
watched it and learned from it. Now look at the
right?
incredible woman we have access to.
Oh my god, like just think about, and there's a couple even in AEW that I wish would step up to other places like
Mhm,
these tournaments that New Japan's having, like Thunder
mhm.
Rosa, um I call her Alien
Chris
Girl, but I don't,
Statlander.
that girl, yeah, Chris Statlander. She,
Mhm,
listen, these two women, and we're just gonna focus on these two because we could
mhm,
go on
mhm,
about women all day. Because not only are they beautiful, okay,
mhm,
not only can they wrestle and have
mhm,
talent,
mhm,
but the respect
mhm,
that they get from the crowd,
mhm.
because they're
And their
not
peers.
flopping. But that's too. They're not flopping their boobies out. They're not got their butt
Mhm,
hanging out. They don't. They have wrestling gear, like they literally both of them wear pants, tights,
mhm,
and they both have very very nice tops.
mhm,
Like things aren't hanging out. They're not all over the place. They're not. And I'm
mhm.
gonna say it. They don't look like a whore. Okay. They don't. They don't look like a whore. Like I would literally be like to my daughter, be like, listen, if you want to wrestle, these are the two women to watch. I mean,
Mhm,
there's more. There's obviously more to watch, but
mhm,
these two right here, right now, are the two that I can name as two women in professional wrestling, not
mhm.
entertainment. Fuck, I hate that word. But they can wrestle. They're not just there because they're
Mhm,
women and they got boobs and butts and they can shake it and oh, we can kind of wrestle
mhm.
like some other women in WWE that I'm not going to mention.
There
Carmella.
there are some in WWE who I feel do get the respect that they deserve in regards to their ability, like the Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
Bianca Belair is kind of hit or miss sometimes. I don't feel that they
she has
always.
a moment.
Yeah, like she comes almost in swells. I feel like there's times where she's higher than others and lower than others, where I think that she should probably be a little bit higher than usual. In comparison to the lows, just because of her talent.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I from what I have seen, there are a few ladies on there who I'm like, how are you still there? But
Like the one I'm most mad about with WWE, and it's because I kind of have a crush on her, is Natalia.
oh yeah,
That girl
she's
should have
very.
left years ago and went
Mm.
somewhere else. Like
I
Vince
agree. It would
has,
have been able to have
yeah,
a really great career if she did. Yeah.
Vince screwed her. She should have been champion several times over
Mhm.
and
And
had
instead, he was the person who elevated the champion to make them look like a champion. If you want
no.
to have someone who looks like they could be a
Hmm.
champion, you have them fight Natalia.
Yeah, yeah, because Natalia's got that heart background, right? She's
Mhm.
the only woman to ever go through the dungeon and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, cool. Then why are you not promoting her as such and have the belt
Mhm.
around her waist for record number
Constantly.
of days?
Mhm.
Why
Mhm.
is she not the Roman Reigns of the women's division?
Yeah, because she is one of those women who I think a rarity in an in-ring general for women in that I think not only does she elevate herself when she wrestles, but she elevates her opponent. And
Yeah, if they
sometimes
don't
so,
screw up.
yeah, but even so, she's one of those people I think who can fix it. Like on the fly in the ring, if she sees something go wrong,
She can
she
call an
knows how
audible
to
big
be
time.
like, yeah,
Oh god, yeah, I've
she's
seen her do it.
yeah, and that's
Like
I have too. That's why she's my favorite,
right?
my absolute favorite female wrestler. My only thing with her is that she clearly does not act well. Like she's not a very good actress. But I don't care because she can wrestle
Here's here's
and she
here's
portrays
my
it in the ring.
my look on the whole Natalia thing. She
Mhm.
doesn't need to. She doesn't need to act
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
you put that belt on her, and guess what? She is now the top dog. Guess who's going to be coming after her? Everybody. You
Mhm.
don't need to act when you're the top dog. You'd be like, "Yeah, I got the belt. I'm better than you. You want some? Come get some."
Mhm. And the only
Like, not to
people who
steal anything
benefit
from The
from that
Rock
are the
there, but
people chasing it,
right?
because she elevates them.
Look at look at the okay, let's look at the talent really quick here. Like you said, you
Mhm.
got Rhea, Belair, and then we go to the veterans. You got oh god, now you're gonna put me on the spot here.
You got Natalia.
Yeah, you
Charlotte
got
Flair, I think, would obviously be considered a veteran.
I'm yes, and I'm tired of her. You know, the four horsewomen, I'm tired of them having the belts. I'm tired of it. And you know, in
I
my
feel
opinion,
yeah.
go somewhere else now. Prove to us somewhere else that you could do it. I think I would like Miss Flair a lot more if she wasn't in WWE.
I've had this
I'll be honest.
argument a lot, and I've had it specifically with our friend Cody Defoe.
Yeah.
Um, he's very vocal, particularly when we go to the pay-per-views of how much he dislikes Charlotte. And I gotta say, do we hate her because we hate her because she's not good at her job? Or do we hate
Or
her because she's doing her job perfectly?
that I think is my problem is that she is doing it better than who she's with.
Mhm.
Therefore, it makes her look stupid.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that
So
pisses me off. I would love to see her fight Thunder Rosa and all these other women. Like, even go to New
Mhm.
Japan. Like, do something other than
Mhm.
WWE.
Oh my goodness, I would love to see Charlotte in Stardom, but man, it would you would have to stack two girls on their shoulders to match her height.
But if that's what
That
you got to
being said,
do,
though,
do
you
it.
put her in the ring with Suri, and her and Suri would have an incredible match.
Yeah.
Incredible match. I have to agree. I think that I am a big Charlotte fan, but I'm also the person who knows the same thing. She's doing her job a little too well for the product that she is in. If she's a heel, she's over the top heel.
Well,
But
she
when
and
she's face, she's over the top face. She
she
does
does it to the max.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I've been saying it since I found out that her and Andrades were engaged. I think it would
Yes.
be intelligent for her to leave WWE, to join LFI, and to be that female dominant figure within LFI to begin to elevate the Los Ingobernables faction. Because now we have kind of two factions going on with LIJ in Japan, and then we have Rush, because Rush and Naito were some of the original kind of members
Hmm.
of the Ingobernables faction. I would love to see Charlotte Flair be one of the first official and public members of LFI, obviously second to Rush's Lady Maria, who's been doing the Mexican tour with them.
Yes. She I would love to see her wrestle if she ends up in, let's hypotheticals, okay? We deal a
Mhm.
lot in hypotheticals as people that talk about wrestling, okay? Her going to AEW with, like you said, her man and
Mhm.
putting a good career down here. I would love to see her take on Jade.
Mhm. I agree. I think
And
that Charlotte could elevate Jade because she's a good in ring personality. I do find sometimes that I've heard that she struggles with her in ring capability. Whereas
yeah,
Charlotte Flair, much like Natalia, she's one of those people who can just correct things right on the fly. So I think that that would actually be a really incredible match for both of them. On paper, if you don't like Charlotte Flair and you don't like Jade, you'd be like, Frig, but knowing their in-ring ability, specifically Charlotte's, and her
yeah,
ability to elevate people with less skill,
which is
I think that
everybody in
would be
WWE.
good. But like to even go back, like Trish Stratus, I love Trish Stratus. I grew up
She's
on
coming
Trish
back.
Stratus and Rita, but in comparison, the wrestling style that Trish Stratus did versus the wrestling style that Charlotte Flair and the new women in WWE do,
Yep.
drastically different. Um, And I feel that that match did not um, devalue either one of the competitors because they were able to elevate it and make it work. And I thought it was a really great match. I know a lot of people shit on it a little bit, but given the generational difference, I think it turned out really good.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is. That's the way I look
Mhm,
at it. It is what it is. Was it bad? No. Was it good for either one of them? Well, yeah, but no.
mhm,
Eh, yeah, it was not the best, but it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest.
mhm,
It was, and it wasn't really mediocre neither. That's the thing, right? You look at it, you go,
mhm,
I absolutely love Trish Stratus. Great talent.
mhm,
Amazing for her age now to be back in the
mhm.
ring. Like, that's insane.
Yep,
Cool. Plus for her. And
yoga is
yeah,
incredible.
well, yeah, right. But as far as I think, yes, she needs to leave WWE and go do this whole thing with her man now
Mhm,
and get her own career outside of daddy's buddy
mhm,
Triple H giving her everything again.
mhm,
Like a couple of the titles she won, yeah, she was just handed that because listen, you're the only talented person in the entire division right now. Here you
mhm.
go. Do
I
something
think
with
that
it.
catered to a lot of the hate that she gets because, now people are
Oh,
just sick of
100%.
seeing her. And it's
It's
not
100%.
because she's not a good entertainer or a good wrestler. It's just because she's she's been Roman Reigns on us. She's been shoved down our throat.
Unfortunately. And it's been like that since day one. She
Mhm,
didn't get to come in and just be Charlotte
mhm,
whatever. No, it's
mhm.
Charlotte Flair. Therefore, it's Ric
Woo!
Flair. Therefore, Triple H. Therefore, you
Mhm,
have all these. It wasn't just Charlotte, whatever you want to call her.
mhm. Exactly.
No, it was the Flair name was tossed at you the entire time. Okay, don't
Mhm,
get me wrong. I like Ric Flair. I emulated Ric Flair for a while. I thought he was the greatest guy. But too much of one thing, not good. Not
Absolutely.
good at all. Go somewhere else. Change your name from Charlotte Flair to whatever.
Mhm,
Charlotte Andrade, blah, blah, whatever. I don't care.
mhm. Whatever the female equivalent for
Yeah, right. Like,
Idolo is.
yeah, let's do it because
Mhm,
I think I'd have more respect for her as a female wrestler if she wasn't under that umbrella of
mhm.
WWE.
I agree.
As far as everything's been handed to her, as far as I'm concerned because of her name.
Mhm,
She didn't earn, okay, didn't earn those titles. Did she deserve them? Yeah, she was the best women's wrestler at that point in time.
mhm,
Definitely deserved it, but I didn't. Just it pissed me off because I was tired of seeing her with a belt. I was tired
mhm.
of her being handed everything.
The process wasn't natural. Wasn't a natural rise of a star within the company. It
Exactly.
was it was like, again, like Roman Reigns. It was a forced thing where it was just, this is what you want. And we're sitting here
Yeah,
like Batista going, no, give us what we want.
yeah, yeah. And what we want is not him. Now, has he
Mhm,
grown on me a bit? I will admit, yeah, Roman Reigns has kind of grown on me a little bit
mhm,
in a certain aspect of he's stepping up to get a little better on the mic now.
mhm,
He's listening to Paul Heyman a little more as to this is what you need to do. This is, and again, like I
mhm,
stated earlier, if it wasn't for Paul Heyman, the
mhm.
bloodline would mean shit.
Oh,
This story,
absolutely.
this storyline right now would mean nothing to anybody. We would be like, "Boo, dude,
Mhm.
get out of the ring." We don't give a shit. You're
Yeah.
the
Well,
only
yeah,
people that
none of
get
those boys
respect in your
are
family
really
is
believable on mic.
yeah. The only reason anybody's listening to anything you got to say is because of your family.
Exactly.
Rikishi, the Hawaiian brothers there, like all these great Hawaiians that came before you are the only reason anybody cares what's going on right now.
Mhm.
It's not
Exactly.
because you three are a bunch of mess up goofballs. It's
Although I'm pretty certain, as I mentioned, Roman Reigns can probably promote some pretty good hair products. Got some really
yeah,
luxurious hair. I think there needs
yeah.
to be a hair competition between him and Doki. Between him and Doki, they both have some pretty luxurious locks.
Wow. There you go. Get her done. But yeah, no, I don't know. I like the whole bloodline story. I like that idea, getting the uncles to come back and say, "Listen, we're fully retired from everything. We're handing over the family now. Here you go." Cool
Mhm,
idea. The way it kind of went down was kind of stupid.
mhm.
So they kind of blew it for me. I really didn't care. I'd rather see. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Brock Lesnar with another title than listen to that
Bruh, what?
story.
No, nobody wants to see that.
But it's just getting to that point for me. I don't care how many days he's held the title now. Who's
Yeah,
gonna come back and beat him now? Because literally, Brock Lesnar can't beat him now.
that's true.
If
He's
you
tried
look,
how many times and has been unsuccessful. At this point, it's
it's
unbelievable to
redundant.
think that
Yeah.
it's capable or possible.
So what now? Who's gonna? A legend's gonna have to come back. It's either gonna be The Rock. I'm telling you right now. It's either gonna be The Rock or John Cena. One of the two is gonna come back, whip his ass, take the titles, either split them back up again, or unify them completely and make one title and have a run for two months, and then I gotta go make another movie. Here's your title back.
The problem I have with that is that it does make sense to have like some kind of legend come in and be like that huge pop for the fans. Because like for myself, I would love to see somebody come back just surprisingly to whoop Roman and take those titles, or even the Usos. I'd love to see a tag team come back and take one of those titles. With that being said, is when you start looking at it, it's like, well, if no one in the roster could beat them, and then we have somebody else have to come on in from the outside, well, then who's capable of
Who's
beating
it
that
gonna be?
person? Because that person's better than them.
Right, and then it becomes a big cluster fuck of
Yeah,
what in the hell are we gonna do now? But I
and
can
not
see.
the like Joey Janela style.
What about this scenario? Okay, have that said legend come back, and like I said, oh, I gotta go do a movie. Here's your title back. Here you
Oh,
go, Triple
relinquishes
H.
it.
Sorry,
Oh.
sorry, buddy. I got a better deal somewhere. I got WWE movie to make. Here's your
Mhm.
title back, and have a tournament for it.
That would actually be probably the best ideal situation for that.
And no Triple H, not a fucking Royal Rumble. That shit is getting old. Have a
Um,
legitimate tournament like they
like the
do.
cup or like the G1
Exactly,
or just
exactly what
something
I was gonna say.
elimination style. Almost like
Exactly
King of the
what I
Ring.
was gonna say. The original King of the Ring story. Why
Yeah.
can't we go back to that? King of the Ring. Not only are you the King of the Ring. Oh.
Hmm.
Here's your title, King.
Yeah. You don't get a scepter, you actually get a
You get
championship.
a title. The unified heavyweight championship. I want them to bring back the big gold. That was my favorite title ever. When I was a kid, I wanted to win that title so bad that I went to Walmart and bought the Walmart special.
Oh, yes, the little foam ones.
No, 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 it's plastic.
Oh,
I had it hanging on my wall at one time with a bunch of other ones that Carl
I
let me
got the
borrow. We had
foam
a
ones, but not the nice plastic one.
I got the plastic, and I would buy the tag title ones, but um I don't like the title at all with that
Oh, yeah, the new title looked a little
Spartan
weird
head on
with the
it. And
Spartan guys, yeah.
dude, please unify those titles and make them new. Please, I'm begging somebody. Even bring back an old look for the title. You know what I mean? Like do something.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
this is what Triple H needs to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, please. And if you have an idea, kick it in, please. Triple H takes over the company, whatever he wants to do, the new WWF, WWE, whatever the hell he wants to call it now.
Mhm.
But take all the titles, gone. Okay? You want a unified title? Okay, here's one title, both shows. One title, both shows. But we're bringing titles back, like
Mhm.
the European title. Bring back the TV championship. Whatever, like bring some of these old titles, bring them back,
Mhm.
right? And have a whole new look for your product.
I think
Boom.
that would
Okay.
actually work because right now that's trendy for all of the other companies. All of the other companies are doing stuff like that. You have
Where's the
Impact
junior
that
heavyweight
has that
title?
social media title. Um, there's so many different things that they could do, and just to rebrand. They don't have to stick with the same
No,
product,
rebrand.
so
They
they
don't.
can go through an evolution, if you will. It's a
Right.
mystery to some, but not to Triple H.
No, because he's
Um,
done it several times.
exactly. So I don't see why
But why
that couldn't
couldn't they?
happen and why it couldn't be successful.
Why couldn't we have a junior heavyweight title or an
Oh,
intermediate?
yeah. The
Why
205
couldn't?
Live title?
Fuck that shit. I hate that. Oh, I hate that title. It looks so retarded. Get rid of that. If you want to have a cruiserweight, then you call it the cruiserweight title.
Yes.
Don't this
Yes.
205 live. There's no, 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 no. It's a cruiserweight title. Let's go back. Let's rewind the clock here. Right before, right. Let's go back to just before Vince went bananas and started fucking everything up. And
Ar
start there. Start
we
over.
could argue when that was, though, da
Well,
based on who you're talking to.
yeah, everybody knows exactly the day. But
But yeah.
why couldn't we? Why couldn't we rebrand the titles? Why couldn't we? And don't even have to go back to make them look like the old days neither. Like let's throw
Mhm.
a new spin on that TV title if you want. Put a TV in the middle of it
Absolutely.
and have the WWE logo in the middle of the TV and
Yeah.
boom, there you go. TV title,
Mhm.
heavyweight title, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Throw it out there. Here you go, boys. Okay?
Yeah.
But we're bringing back the cruiserweight title. Forget this 205. It never worked. 205 never worked. Let's get rid of 205. Boom, you're done. Now it's the
Mhm.
cruiserweight division.
Mhm. I think
And
that would
you
be a
wait, and
good
this
idea.
way,
Rebranding would be smart.
I think if they rebrand, and by the way, I could give you some help because I rebranded the CFL and that shit got stolen on me.
Oh, no.
When I was in college, we had a rebranding class. Take a product and rebrand it and make it look cool. I did the CFL. My shit got stolen by the teacher. Yeah, and because we didn't do what we should have to make sure that it was ours, yeah, we got screwed. But anyway, rebrand the
What?
product. Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
but whatever.
simple.
It's neither here nor there anymore. I don't care. I'm still a
The
little bitter about it, but
principle of the matter.
exactly, yes. But why can't we get a rebrand of the WWE?
There's no
Take
reasonable
take the
explanation. It's
E
not like
out
they don't have the money for it.
instead of take the F out. Take the E out.
Mhm. Put the F back in.
Yeah, F. Get over here. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and add an extra W. So you go the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah. There
That
you go.
skips
It
the
avoids
WW,
the
right?
WWF copyright, right?
Yeah, because now you got three W's, not just two. Hey,
Mhm.
put your F back. I almost flipped you off there because my fingers didn't want to work. But rebrand it and yeah, bring back your and Triple H. I will love you forever if you do this. The big gold's got to come back. I'm telling you right now, that big gold title has to come back because there's your historical heavyweight championship
Mhm.
title right there. The history
Mhm.
of your company is based off that one title. Okay. And then you bring back
Mhm.
and rename it the Worldwide Wrestling Federation title. There's your heavyweight title, your actual brand title.
Mhm.
Bring back a TV title, your cruiserweight title, and then you got your tag titles. And you can
Mhm.
have the heavyweight tag team titles, right? Okay.
Mhm.
And then you bring out the junior heavyweight tag team titles.
Mhm.
Oh,
You
oh,
almost got an NJPW set up there.
ooh, ooh. Can we do it? Hey, Triple H, I don't work for free. Those are the only ideas you're getting out of me. You want more, you got to pay for this. um, but no, why couldn't we rebrand WWE now that Vince is gone?
Mhm.
Vince
Mhm.
is gone. I don't think he's that far gone, to be quite honest.
I mean,
Um,
in physicality, he's probably not there, but like people still probably hear the telepathy of the voice coming through the force and yeah, like
I would have
he's
done that. Don't do
probably
that.
he's very probably still
Oh,
involved, but given how much the entertainment has drastically changed from what I've heard over the last couple of weeks,
yes.
maybe his leash is a lot longer than we may have expected at first. He's obviously
Honestly,
still going to
yes.
be involved.
Well, even you got to think. When did Triple H take? What day was it that it was like? What? Not even a week before SummerSlam, he announced his retirement, and Triple H had like a
Mhm,
day or 2 days before the show,
mhm,
and
mhm.
he still changed enough to make it Triple H esque. Okay, to a
Yes,
point. To a point,
yes,
because I mean, shit was still Vinced. Okay, it wasn't
yeah.
perfect. It was still Vinced, but I'm telling, as far as I'm concerned, that ending the match between Roman and Brock,
Mhm.
100%, 100%. Triple H had his grubby paws all over that sumbitch. He and those two gentlemen worked a show. Like
Mhm,
if that was the entire product was just that, and he said, "No, this is all screwed up. This is all you're going to get, people. We're not going to charge you. We're just going to main event your asses, and we're going home because
mhm,
Vince left. We didn't have enough time to fix anything. We'll
mhm,
make it up to you at the next pay per view." If that was the all we seen for SummerSlam, I would have I would yeah I would be happy.
mhm.
I would have been, dude. I am coming back to watch this product again. When is the next show? Oh, it's in like the next day for
I'm there.
Raw. Dude, what's the ticket cost? I am, and how am I gonna fly my ass down to wherever you are? Because you know what I mean. Like that match made me a believer in the new era of Triple H for
Mhm,
WWE. If it wasn't for
mhm.
that match, I probably would have just went, "Oh, great, another shitty pay per view that I, you know, had to spend
Yeah.
money on." Or there's 2.5, 3 hours of my life I'm never gonna get back.
Mhm, mhm. And
You know,
honestly, that's
don't
how
get me
I
wrong.
was feeling up until that point.
I was kind of him and Han about it, and I just, like, why did I come and like? Don't get me wrong, I love hanging out with these guys because, it's nice to be around other broadcasters. But when we're
Mhm,
watching shitty product or predictable product, which was very predictable for
mhm,
part of that because Vince fucked it up. Um, I was him and Han about it. Even my girlfriend was like, "Do you really want to watch this?" I'm like, I'm really not feeling it, but I'm only here because Brock Lesnar could become champion again.
mhm.
And I'm tired of seeing Roman with the title. So I'm only
Mhm.
here for a guy that I don't even like to win the title again. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
but what do you do?
Again, I can echo the sentiment with Cody Defoe. I am not a Brock Lesnar fan. I've always referred to him as Brickhead because
Yeah.
I don't like him. But this setup, um, having Triple H's, little fingers all over it was actually what enabled me to be interested in the show because yes, it was, Vince, as you said, where all the matches were already set in stone. But I feel that this SummerSlam, for myself, as someone who doesn't watch the product on a regular basis and only watches the pay-per-views, it was one of the best pay-per-views that I've seen WWE put out in quite some time, that I actually was happy to watch and happy to see the results of everything. Whereas before, it would be like, we'd be 2 matches in and I'd be like, I'm not drunk enough to be watching this product because it's that awful. Um,
I literally WWE product for a long time was my nap time.
mhm, mhm,
I would go to bed. I'd go to bed early that night. So 8 o'clock it'd start. I'd be in bed by 8, passed out by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, the latest. And I would
jeez.
sleep all the way. It would put me to bed. And I would be out for the entire night and wake up to go to work in the morning. And I had people asking me, how can you sleep that long like that? I'm like, it's literally that boring to me right now. But
Oh,
like we said, Triple H being and I'm calling it's a new era for WWE. Are we going to
mhm,
see a ton of changes right away? Maybe, maybe not. We've seen significant change in talent.
mhm,
The talent has stepped up their game, as
mhm,
far as I'm concerned, a little more, because they are starting. As far as I'm concerned, they're starting to feel more respected
mhm,
as entertainment. No, but as individuals with
mhm,
abilities. Yes,
mhm,
they're being
mhm,
recognized as talent, not entertainment.
mhm.
Which cool for
There's a
me.
distinct jump in confidence and,
Hmm.
like, comfort that I'm noting from a lot of the wrestlers, especially the last couple weeks.
Which is good.
Mhm.
Now, the rumor mill. Have you heard the latest rumor of who might be coming back
To WWE?
to WWE? Big name coming
No, I have
possible.
not. Drop it on me.
Bray Wyatt
Oh, okay,
is.
I'm gonna tell you what I feel about Bray Wyatt, and
Uh
it's the
oh.
same way I felt about Bayley. And it was like, "Girl, you've been talking about coming back for a year. Either shut up or put up." Bray
Well,
Wyatt, man, everyone's waiting for you. Put up or shut up. Come back or don't come back. But stop psyching us out because I'm starting to get bored of it. Because I get excited every time I see it, and then nothing happens.
yeah, the biggest one I got excited about was the possible AEW,
Mhm.
because he was
Mhm.
at a lot of shows and he was hanging out there a lot, and
Mhm.
like even Jericho said, like why is he not here already? Like, he was getting tired of it.
Mhm.
So he supposedly is in the works of signing a multi-million-dollar contract with WWE at this very moment, and I think because it's Triple H, the new
Mhm.
era, the new, we're looking at a new WWE. Vince isn't going to be hanging around because he's not allowed there at shows.
Mhm.
He's not allowed being, in the public kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's legit. I think in the next 3 weeks, give or take, we are going to see, and I don't think it's going to be Bray Wyatt himself. I think he's coming back as this new fiend character that he's developed.
Oh, good. The Fiend
I
character was honestly the best rendition of him, and I think one of the easiest to market. Not having
100%.
him on has been a detriment to the merchandising part of WWE for
Well, you
sure.
he comes up with all this stuff on his own and goes, "Here, it's yours. Yeah, you
Mm,
market it, you get the rights to, but it's my character. I get to
mhm,
decide where he goes, what he does, how he does it, and who he does it with." Okay.
mhm,
Um, if he comes back, he
mm,
better come back as the fiend character, because,
mhm.
in my opinion, Bray Wyatt, just Bray Wyatt, is no better than his brother Bo Dallas. And where do we see him now? Nowhere. Bray
Hey, you just
Wyatt,
gotta believe.
I don't believe in anything that guy ever put out. Good wrestler, don't get me wrong. Yes, the
Mm-hmm.
guy's got talent. If he doesn't come back with some rendition of the Wyatt family as Bray
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt, he's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you bring him back as the Fiend, which, as far as I'm concerned, is AKA the Undertaker, right? Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he's got that darkness, he's got that. You never know where this guy's going to show up, what he's going to do.
But the same overness with the crowd as well as the Undertaker.
When he came out with that Fiend character, I I was speechless for one. I
Mm-hmm.
sat there with my jaw on the floor, going, "What are we seeing right now? This is freaky." Like literally, the
Mm-hmm.
character is things of nightmares, like Freddy
Mm-hmm.
Krueger and Jason when I was a kid, right? Like he's
Mm-hmm.
that caliber of freaky for me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I love it. I love when he comes out. It freaks me out. I love
Mm-hmm.
that thrill you get, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now it's rumor. If it's true, I'm hoping he's coming back within 3 months or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Bray, sign the contract, bro. Come back and wrestle because the dude could wrestle. He's a big dude, and he could
Mm-hmm.
wrestle, not just
Yes,
entertain. Yes, he had that, but he could wrestle.
he could wrestle.
Oh,
He is quick and he's flexible. And that's not always something that you can find in a big guy. But when you do find it, it's so easy to work with them and make things look so good. Um,
now
I
go
personally
ahead.
would love to see Bray Wyatt back in a WWE ring. And again, I would love to see him with his brother. I've actually really missed seeing Bo Dallas after he was brought up to the main roster. And that was just, I definitely feel that he was a part of that NXT cursed bunch where they just, someone cursed the first lot to come up there. And he fell into the abyss with the Ascension and Adrian Neville. And yeah,
Oh
it
God,
just
it was painful to watch his descent.
agonizing.
Um,
Um, but
because he's
yeah,
got
I
talent.
yeah. So all of those guys were such talented individuals. I mean, look at Neville now. He's now Pac and a part of teaming with the Lucha
The
Brothers, whatever
Triangle,
team. Yeah, so like Death Triangle, right?
the Death
Yeah,
Triangle. Yes,
like
they're my favorite, by the way. I love the
yeah,
Lucha Brothers.
like Pentagon and Phoenix and Neville. Like you got the two Lucha Libres, but then you got the guy who's like jacked,
He's
running
the
around,
biggest little
still.
guy.
Yeah, he is like almost like the Ishimori of AEW. He's a compact chihuahua, a little muscle chihuahua.
Yeah,
But like,
and holy.
man, I agree with you. I think I would like to see Bo Dallas come in as almost like a commander within the Wyatt family, almost like how Luke Harper was
Well,
to Bray
here
Wyatt.
here's my concept on that while we have this conversation. Why
Hmm.
couldn't we come and have him actually be the puppet master? The whole
Oh,
time he was in the background going, "Dance, monkeys,
it
dance."
wasn't Sister Abigail, it was Brother
But it was
Nero.
him. It was him. Why couldn't we throw that out there? I would eat that shit like it was spaghetti, man. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's go. That's awesome."
It could work if done, and realistically, Bray and Bo, they have that actability, that ability to act these crazy, outlandish characters and to improvise. I feel that
Yep.
those two guys are actually some of the best improvisers within professional wrestling, especially when it comes to just doing, stuff in the ring on the
Agreed.
fly. Um, I don't see why not. I
Or
mean,
would you
that,
bring him in with a mask on, and none of us know who he really is,
I
and have
mean,
him
we
be
could probably
the
figure
the,
it out
the little
in the same
fiend?
way we did with Puma and the tattoos, but
Yeah.
I don't see why he couldn't do that either. I mean, the
I just
Fiend
want him
has that
wrestling.
super creepy mask. He could have one very similar.
I just I just want him wrestling because the guy
Hmm.
was
Same.
entertaining.
Hmm.
Like
People
Oh, it was
want him back.
great.
People want him back, and if he's able to, he's still got the passion for it.
Do
He
do
could
we
get a
need to
contract anywhere.
do we just need to believe?
I think we do.
Oh god, could you imagine though Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas coming back and working together? Could you imagine how dynamic that would be? But here now, are they bringing back? Here's another question, another theory to throw at you because my brain's always going because of my ADHD. Are they bringing the Fiend or Bray Wyatt back to take those titles from Roman Reigns? Because they have said, and I quote, there is a ex WWE superstar coming back that has unfinished business with Roman Reigns. And the only person I think of is Bray Wyatt, the Fiend.
Hmm. Because who did the Fiend exit to? Was it Cena? Cena was his last match?
I actually think it was Roman Reigns.
Was it?
I think so. If
So, yeah,
memory
realistically
serves
speaking,
me,
that makes the most sense because I was just thinking again, I don't watch the WWE product, so I don't know kind of who he's been mucking about with the most. But yeah,
well,
if Roman was the last one that Wyatt messed around with before his exit, it would make sense that it would
well,
be
hold that
him.
thought. Mike, the ref, is watching from,
Michael
and he says it was Orton
Orton.
at Mania.
Mm.
I thought, and I'm glad, Mike. Thank you for correcting us if we
Mhm.
are wrong. Thank you. I thought it was
He's
Roman.
an encyclopedia, that Mike.
But my question is, how many matches have those gentlemen had where Bray lost or just barely lost? You know what I mean? Like he should have won the match, but
I mean, a
Vince.
lot. I feel most of Bray Wyatt's matches he undeservingly took a loss to.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I, I really hope that that is the case, and I hope that they bring back the Fiend character, just because the Fiend character was so over with the crowd. The crowd
Yeah.
wants it back, but I
We
think
were. Yeah. Go
he
ahead.
had the most fun too. I think doing that gimmick, and
Yeah.
I think it was
And he's
more of those
developed it.
happier times. Yeah.
Like
So I
even being off, he's developed a new mask
mhm,
and a new line for the Fiend. It's not just the
exactly.
one we remember. He's actually
Mhm,
like like equivalent to Drew McIntyre. When he
mhm,
started out in WWE, yeah, he was tall, but he was skinny as shit.
mhm,
And he went away and he developed into the Drew McIntyre we know today.
mhm,
So could you imagine the Fiend as he was? Okay. Yeah, he had some crazy power and he had some like, he awed the crowd, the shock and awe factor, as I
mhm.
like to call it. Now he's gone away. How long's he been gone away? It's been almost a year, right? It's
I
been a
am
while.
not. Yeah,
It's
it's been a hot
it's
minute
been a
for
minute.
sure.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Now this guy comes back, new mask, new line for his character, new power. Who knows what he could come back with? He could come back with being the Undertaker, shooting lightning bolts out his butt at the stage and blowing stuff up now. Like who knows? What a great character to bring back that
Mhm.
everybody that was a Wyatt fan and people that weren't a Wyatt fan gravitated towards this character because of the darkness and the
Mhm.
unknowing.
And talk about the timing. We're just at the getting to the end of August here, getting into that spooky fall season. We're gonna have like a month or 2 months to really get into the character, accept it,
Oh yeah.
and really get excited about it. It's realistically,
Oh
from a
yeah.
marketing perspective, the perfect kind of timing to have him come back in.
I if I had the paperwork in front of me, okay, I own WWE. I make all the decisions right now. And I had Bray Wyatt coming to me saying, "Listen, I want to work with these guys. Forget what happened with the old management. It's the new era, it's the new time. Let's get this done."
Mhm.
And I looked at Bray Wyatt and said, "Okay, you're coming back, but you're not coming back as Bray Wyatt. You're going to be the Fiend, period. Okay? We don't want to see your
Mhm.
face anymore. We don't want to know that it's you. We don't care about Bray Wyatt. That
Mhm.
Bray Wyatt character is done because your family is missing a member and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
What kind of money is it going to take to get your butt back in my ring
I mean, if let's
within
be honest,
reason?"
yeah. But I'm gonna say I feel like Bray Wyatt has always shown that he is not one of those guys who is motivated by money. He is motivated by passion. And I think that all you would have to do is say, you have creative control of your character
Okay,
and you get this much of your percentage of your merchandising.
which they all do.
Go do your thing. I think it wouldn't matter the cost. He would come back. I feel like he's one of those guys who wants to do it because he genuinely loves it. That little twinkle that I think
Yeah,
that you were talking about, I
yeah.
feel like that's something that never leaves for him. He's just one of those people who was born into the sport and born to be into the sport.
Well,
Um,
exactly. And who, if you don't have that twinkle, who goes away from a company with the character and develops more into that character? Who does that if you don't have
After
passion?
that company tried to destroy that character.
Yeah, and literally tried to destroy it because it was a
Yeah,
bad
he
idea,
I mean, who's the real dead man in the WWE? The
right?
one
We
that
might
won't die or the one that has, right? So,
exact and died multiple times and come back.
uh-huh. With
Yeah,
fire, I mean, you can't
right.
kill it with fire. What can you do? They really could market on him being an unkillable or unstoppable force, an entity, if you will.
They could take it any direction. That's the best part of the Fiend
Mhm.
character.
It would certainly
He
help make
could.
Bliss's run make sense.
I've yeah, I've given up on this whole Bliss thing because yeah, I can't comprehend what's going on with her anymore. My brain just no. But I hope they sign him. Um,
Mhm.
Now, is he worth $1 million contract? um, I can't say no, but I can't say yes
I would say
because
yes, only because we know the payback would be good.
exactly because I know I'm going to be making more money out of his character than
Mhm.
before. Because yes, he's gone away and developed more interesting things to go with this character.
Mhm.
Plus the merch sale, plus the TV time, plus all this pluses I'm gonna get out of having just the Fiend character. Okay,
Nothing but
that
elevation.
that's not even including if he wants to bring back his brother or bring a different character in as far as like Alexa Bliss or whatever,
Mhm.
his
Mhm.
brother being the puppet master kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
it's just all I hear is ching ching ching.
Mhm.
I'm making money. Pay you
Here comes
$1 million?
the
Hell yeah.
money.
Here's your
Here
money, no
comes the
problem.
money.
Yeah, yeah. Where's Shane O'Mac right now, right? Like, okay, what's Mike saying here? What's Mike got to say? I think you got Wyatt if you get him the bank steal. Where
That would be
take
good.
time.
I'd watch a Bray Wyatt
Okay,
movie.
okay. I was. Thank you, Mike, for bringing this up. I was actually thinking about this the other day and discussing this with my better half, which is really funny. Um, Wrestlers in movies, is it a plus or is it a minus? Okay, I think it's a plus
Mhm.
depending on the movie. Now,
Mhm.
if you get a Wyatt character such as the Fiend, you know how many scary movies you can have a franchise like Friday the 13th, like Nightmare on Elm Street, like
but
Halloween.
not like See No Evil.
No,
Not See No
no,
Evil.
that was just. I'm sorry, Kane. You did a
He
good
tried.
job in your movie. You did your best. You're not an
Mhm.
actor. You are a sports wrestling character. It would have been a good movie if they would have left the fucking mask on him.
Yeah.
The mask made Kane scary.
Yes.
I
Very
I
intimidating. Yeah.
remember the day Kane debuted. I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday, because that mask scared the shit out of me.
Very
That scared
intimidating.
me. I was like, this guy's gonna come onto my TV and kill me. Turn it off.
The Ring.
Okay, so if you take the Fiend and you start this Halloween type scary movie, and you go with this, okay, and you
Hmm.
have one this year, okay, and
Call
if
it
you
the
want,
Fun House.
thank you, you stole it right out. I couldn't even get it out. You said it before I could, and I was like, call it, yeah, the Fun House, cool.
Haunted
Or
house that comes alive.
and then you wait a year, see how that does. You wait that year, okay, and if it does really
Mhm.
really well, cool. Let's do a number two and have it somewhere else and have a funhouse turn crazy and have the fiend because he haunts fun houses. He jumps from one to the other.
Mhm.
Okay, whatever. Dude,
Yeah,
you're
the evil
making
entity
money.
can jump. Yeah.
You are making pockets of money off this
Mhm.
guy, not only from wrestling, but from his movies. Yeah, you're gonna obviously he's gonna have his cut, obviously, because he's the
Mhm.
character. Cool. Way to go, WWE. Again, starting a new era, new ideas, new
Mhm.
things that come out,
Mhm.
right? Like, and yeah, okay, they're gonna take it a little bit at a time. You let him build his character for a year or two, whatever, and then you put out a movie.
Mhm.
Then you build off that movie as him becoming champion, or
Mhm.
uni- even the Intercontinental Championship needs to be changed. Ugh, I hate the one they have now.
This needs to be brought back in New Japan.
Yes, but again, it is what it is, and
Mhm.
they're just trying to be cool. Your titles aren't
Mhm.
cool anymore, bro. Go back to the old ones because they were cool,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
But again, this character could do so many things within the WWE.
So much, yes.
Like, he
And
doesn't
just
even have
think
to
of
come
how
back and
many
win a
fans it
title.
would pull in. Like new fans, it would pull in with the movie release. Be like, wait, what? This is a wrestler? He wrestles like this? How many people is he going to pull in on that? And then again, how many people in the wrestling community are going to look at the movie and be like,
Okay,
oh, be
okay, we
interested
got
in horror films? It's
this is Mike. Let's have WWE Big Brother with the Fiend as host. A live action
ah,
Saw remake, dude. But you know what though? I hate to say this, it would work because you could have them take somebody that goes into this the booth where they do their
mhm.
private confessions, and that person just disappears, right?
Okay, the lights go out and suddenly they're gone.
Yeah, and nobody knows where they went or what happened or anything,
No
and
noise or anything, yeah.
the person to figure out that there's something in the house taking people wins the money or something. Whatever. You can like there's so many spins you could put on stuff and throw the fiend in there and just be like, go at her, buddy, kill people. Like take their souls. Like whatever.
Or like not even just like limit that to WWE. Bring all the spooky people from all of the shows across like all of the Impact, the
Yeah.
all that. Get Rosemary in there, Black Taurus and Crazy
Oh
Steve.
God, Rosemary.
uh, Havoc, not Jessica.
It gives me chills, man. Just like I look at all the hair on my arm just stood straight
Abaddon.
up. She listen, yeah, that's yeah. There is some
Oh,
scary women in wrestling that play the
mhm.
character very
So
well.
so well. We
Very
have
well.
one up here in BC. Rhea Von Slasher. Rhea Von Slasher. She's an incredible one. Could fit right in there. Same
And
with
here's the
her partner, Cremator.
ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, that's an interesting name. I gotta look up some BC indie wrestling.
Yeah. I'll
My
have
my
to send
cousin
you some.
actually, yes, send me a link. Add me on Facebook, whatever you want to do. Um,
Absolutely.
uh, Send me some stuff because my cousin's out there right now, and I kind of want to go visit him, but I want to be like, hey, bro, have you ever done this while you were out here? Let's go check it out and kind of get him
Yeah.
interested because he's a car
You
guy.
got to.
That's all he does. He does car. And I'm like, dude, you went out there to retire from that stuff. You didn't go out there to, so let's go do something different.
I feel like someone out there has a Hearst. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like they do. Have to
No.
investigate this. Like I feel
um,
like someone out in BC actually has a Hearst that they use as a promotional thing.
wow, good
Yeah,
for you. But
let's figure that out after we get off of here.
but I do think they need to bring him back. The Fiend made
Mhm,
them tons of money, tons of fans. Like he brought in people that were in the scare genre,
mhm,
um, like the Undertaker did.
mhm, mhm,
He brought those people over, and they actually watched wrestling.
mhm, mhm,
My friend that I just met and I work with now, he said the only reason I watched wrestling was for the Undertaker and
mhm.
his WrestleMania record that he had,
Mhm.
which Vince fucked that too. He should have retired unfucking defeated,
I agree.
or at
I
least
agree.
pick somebody else other than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. That being said, what I'm equally disappointed with in that is that, Brock at that point was a very part-time guy. I definitely thought it would have been smarter for them to work the angle of, oh, you've defeated the Undertaker, you broke the streak, you are now the new streak. So
Yeah,
that would
you
be
got to
like,
continue it.
yeah, you're now the undefeated WrestleMania person. You take
Mhm.
over this. You are now that bench level. You're that person that people are shooting for. Because at that point, I didn't want to see Brickhead anymore anyway. So I'm like, this would
Yeah,
enable us to still allow him to be around, but be less angry about it. Because at that point, he was doing those championship runs where he would win the title and then disappear for 4 or 5 months. And
yeah,
I'm
take the
like,
title with them.
yeah, and I'm like, most places like New Japan, we've seen it especially in the last couple of years. If you don't defend or you cannot defend your title within a certain allotted time, you are stripped of the title. We've seen it
Yep.
happen with Ichi. We've seen it happen with Will Ospreay. We saw it happen with Juice. There's no reason why they couldn't do that and it be a logical, rational explanation. They just thought that this over the top thing was the right thing to
Yeah.
do at the time, which a lot of fans disagree with. And maybe it was for them at the time. As a fan, I would have to disagree.
What's best for business, right? No, it
Yeah.
wasn't best for it was best for your pocketbook not to have the champion on the show
Mhm.
every night and not defend his title. That's what it was. And I yeah, I could go on out for hours about
I don't think
now
my stomach could handle that. I'm so hungry.
the
You caught
yeah,
me on here right when I woke up.
the new Brock Lesnar, where he's the farm guy from Saskatoon, whatever.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Yeah, no, I don't mind, but again, it's Brock Lesnar. It doesn't matter what shit you smear him in, he's still shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the guy. I don't. I'm sure he's a great person. I'm
Hmm.
sure he is the best guy to be friends with.
Hmm.
I just I don't. Just Brock Lesnar again,
Yeah, as a fan,
again.
it's become stale.
Stale. I've eaten stale bread better than this guy. I just ah.
It's got the personality of a salt-free soda cracker.
That's disgusting, by the way.
Yeah. It's very dry. It's very just
Overdone.
monotone. Yeah. You just eat
It
one and
is
you're
overdone.
good. You got dry mouth.
Yeah, good old cotton mouth, eh? Bleh, bleh, bleh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good for another 6 months, and then oh yeah, here he is again. I want another cracker. No, I'm good, thanks. I remember what that
Kelly does
cracker did to
not
me
want
last
those
time. I'm good.
crackers.
No, holy cow. Just but yeah, no. I would like to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
Very
having me, my
chill,
friend.
which is really cool because I heard you're a hard person to get a hold of to get online for.
I very much am.
So I was like,
Very much am.
she's gonna come on, like, and
Hey, I've heard
okay.
NJPW and I'm always willing to talk NJPW.
Well, again, I want to learn more about the that wrestling. I mean, I've watched it, but you gotta. It's more than just watching it. It's a culture
Mhm.
thing. It's you know,
Mhm, mhm. The
but
drastic differences between the two are just incredible, not just in the
oh
matches,
yeah,
but like also the crowds. The crowds you see in Japan, they're very quiet until they're giving you the appreciation for what it is you're doing. Regardless if you're
yes.
heel or face, they're going to appreciate you. It's incredible.
It that was the weird part for me. I'm like, why are they not cheering? That dude just did the biggest move of his and nothing. And I was like,
Yeah,
why? Okay, so and then I figured out, yeah, it's
yeah.
because their culture. You don't clap. So
Yeah. I
I
mean,
get it.
before
I
COVID,
understand.
it was different. You know, they would boo people out of the building, or cheer them. Like it was thunderous. But since COVID has happened, their rules have definitely changed to curb the spread kind of thing. So they're actually not
Yeah.
allowed to be audible in the matches right now. But they are starting to release them, like release and like
Okay.
lax those rules. Because in Stardom, especially, you can see that some of the people are starting to get more
A
vocal.
little more
But then
vocal.
again,
Yeah.
some of the things that are happening in Stardom, you can't not be vocal. They're creating a gasp or a
Yeah.
ooh kind of
Yeah.
moment.
And
So
that's wrestling.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
can't control to a certain degree, obviously, can't control your emotion
yeah,
during the match. That to me is a wrestling match. Like
absolutely.
that's what gets me on the edge of my seat when I'm watching
Hmm.
even on I'm laid back in my lazy boy chair watching wrestling and I'm like I can't sit like this anymore. I gotta be up. I gotta sit and you gotta be able to jump and
Edge of your
that
seat.
that to me is professional wrestling,
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
just entertainment.
Yeah.
That's
You want to be
professional
excited
wrestling.
about it. And when it elicits an emotional response for you, you know they're doing their job right.
100%. Even watching indie wrestling, my first time I ever went to an indie wrestling match,
Mhm.
Carl invited me, and I was the same for the exciting matches that I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh yeah, yeah!" You get up and scream, and you're chanting Buddy's name. You're the one that starts the chant. You know, you're in the back, the very back, chanting the
Mhm,
guy. You know,
mhm, mhm.
that's professional wrestling. Even in
Yeah.
indie wrestling, and I know Carl hates when I say that, but in indie wrestling, if you can elicit that response
Mhm,
of complete enjoyment, number one,
mhm.
because if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to react to it. And the
Absolutely.
reaction of you showing your enjoyment and your pleasure with what's going on in the ring,
Mhm,
then you know 100% you've done your job as a
mhm,
professional wrestler and not just an entertainer.
mhm, mhm,
In my books, a professional wrestler is there for wrestling. An
mhm,
entertainer wrestler is there for the money.
mhm. 100%.
100%. And you can tell the difference because Buddy don't
Mhm,
give a shit what kind of response. He's going through what he needs to do and he's getting out. Give me my
mhm,
money, I'm out.
mhm.
And I
I
hate to
actually,
say it.
I actually saw recently an indie show where I saw like just the perfect example of that, where you were um, the crowd was very, very dead until a few moments, and then the crowd just lit up on fire and blew the roof off of that
Yeah.
place. And those people were there to be wrestlers. They made sure they wanted that passion, they wanted that reaction, and they wanted that moment essentially from the crowd. And man,
Yeah,
did we give it to them.
yeah,
They
and
did
that's the
some
difference.
stuff that just wow.
And I bet you they interacted with that crowd through the whole match
Oh,
without
yes.
realizing you were being interacted with by that wrestler. And
Mhm,
that's the
mhm.
best part when you can kind of just you're gonna get slammed, and you just kind of look over at that person, you give them a little wink, like I got this,
Yeah.
right?
Or you
And
you reach for them for help, you're like,
yeah,
"Hey!"
yeah, you're getting pulled back into the ring. You're like, help me, come over here and help me, like help pull me out.
Mhm, mhm.
Like the little things in a match make the big match. And
And what's crazy is that it's
crazy.
those little things that are not trained as much to the wrestlers during their training
Yep.
time that creates the situation where we have these very empty matches that are missing that story, missing that emotion. At the end of the day, us fans, all we want is to know that we exist to you guys, the wrestlers.
Exactly, yeah, there's more than just those 4 ropes. You see us
Mhm.
outside the ropes. Little acknowledgement is all, like I said, that little wink or
Mhm.
do
Mhm.
something huge to the guy and go over and be like, "That's right, I'm better than him."
Cater to the crowd, yeah. Because honestly,
Right?
as I said, that's all we want as fans. We want to know that we matter to you as much as you matter to us. Because
And
we
it's not
look at
just
the
about our
wrestlers
money.
as celebrities. I have no problem admitting when I met local wrestler Kat Von Hees. I met her in the mall randomly. I marked out. I
Oh,
ran out. I'm
totally.
like, "Kat Von Hees." She's
Yeah,
like, "What in the world?" Like, but
I have an
that's the
embarrassing
kind of
story.
emotion that a good wrestler gets out of you when they're doing their job properly.
Yeah, my embarrassing mark, because you gave yours, I gotta give mine. Mine was at a local show here with the company I was working for. This is so embarrassing. I met Petey Williams, and
Ah,
this was right after he did the Maple Leaf Muscle thing, so he was still doing it
ah.
in the indies, and he came to our and
I don't blame
I
you.
I turned into a little mushy girl and went, "Oh my god, it's Petey Williams!" And he just looked at me and goes, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" I'm like I'm
Oh
so
man, I
embarrassed.
wish I was my only one. I mean, that was the
I
one that I worked out the most on, but I actually ran into Sean Spears at a
oh
local
god,
gym here when he was coming in for a show for a company that I'm not sure even exists anymore. And he walked up the stairs, and I'm doing rows, and I happened to look at him, and I dropped it. I was like, oh, oh. Sean Spears just walked in. He walked right up to me and starts talking to me.
oh god.
And I'm like, "Oh, run away." I Monty Python'd him. I ended up just having, like, a few sentences with him, didn't even ask him for a picture and just took off.
It
I was
left.
so freaked out.
Yeah, my favorite one, um, and God rest this gentleman's soul because I mean he deserves to be happy. Rosie,
Oh,
do you remember? Do you remember Rosie,
um, yeah,
the
yeah,
brother of Roman Reigns?
yeah,
I
yeah.
met him here in my hometown,
Oh, wow.
and he was doing the superhero thing, and I had come in the back and was like, "Okay, this is the curtain. This is the area you're allowed to be in because we're letting
Mhm.
people in now." Because I was working security plus working the show, so
Okay.
I was just like, "This is where we gotta kind of stay and hang out." And he stood up. Um, I've never felt so small and insignificant in my life. Okay, I'm a big dude. At that point in time, I was uh, 5'7", 5'8" in that area, and I'm pushing 250 myself. Okay, and Rosie made me look like Tiny Tim. He, had a bit, he reached out to shake my hand, and I mean a real handshake, not the wrestling handshake. Okay,
Yeah.
so you know the difference. Uh,
Mhm.
my mitt disappeared,
Oh,
and
man.
it was I don't I don't want to say it was embarrassing because I went, oh shit, it's Rosie, right? Like
Mhm.
I didn't totally geek out to a degree of I did with Petey, but I did. But I was more internal about it because
Mhm, mhm.
I've learned from that you don't act like an idiot in front of the guest talent, right?
Yeah, I haven't quite caught on to that yet.
But we had a genuine conversation. We
Awesome.
I ordered pizza. We shared pizza. Like he's
Mhm.
like, "What's your favorite?" I'm like, "Oh, I hate to say it, but it's kind of it's Hawaiian." Anyway, yeah, that's kind of a big guy kind of pizza. Yeah, that's in his deep Hawaiian accent that he had. But
Yeah.
he was genuine. He didn't even care about the money that he was being paid. He didn't even care.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
like, give it to the local soup kitchen. They need it
Aw,
more
that's
than I
sweet.
do. I was
See,
like,
these
really?
guys are people too. We always
And
gotta remember that at the end of
everybody
the day.
forgets that, right? They put them
Yeah.
up on that pedestal of you're like a superhero rock star.
Yeah.
And in all reality, they're no effing different than you and I,
They're pretty chill. Like, I'm
right?
just remembering my partner actually fought, Jeff Cobb a few years ago, for the ROH
Yeah.
TV title when he had it. And afterwards, of course, we went out for food after, and again, guy was just super chill, very
Oh yeah.
calm, just chatting with us about anything and, like, just
Yeah.
bullshitting. It was incredible, but you're right, they're just people too.
Hey, here's a great example of meeting people that think they're a superstar and
Mm,
meeting people that are legit superstars. Okay,
mhm.
and you'll know the difference.
Oh,
I met Ty Domi when I
oh,
was in college. I met him at a Jack Astor's in Toronto. He was out with his family. He was out with the family. The little guy was there with them, his son
no,
and the wife, and you know, and this guy's screaming and yelling at his family. You fucking
no.
do what I effing tell you to blah blah like that kind of stuff, right? At this Jack Astor's.
Yikes.
That's on one side, okay? And
Mhm.
I've yeah, okay. And then I went to say hi to him and he just told me to go after myself.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's
So
nice.
I'm like, great, thanks, dude. Like you totally just destroyed my childhood of wanting to be a hockey star, right?
Mhm.
Thanks, man. Because I was a goalie. I played net for a while. So I was like,
Oh,
done with that, right? Um,
aw.
so about a year later, I'm at the same Jack Astor's, and who walks in but the Miz with his wife and their friends, and they're sitting down to eat, and he's ordering his drinks, and he's really calm, cool, collected guy, and the waitress is kind of losing her mind because it's the Miz. Who doesn't like the Miz? At that point in time, he was the champ.
Mhm,
That kind of
mhm.
Miz, right? And I had walked by and noticed he was drinking beer, and what I went and asked the bartender, well, what's he drinking? I bought him a beer. I brought it
That's
over and said,
nice.
"Hey." I was like, it's a way to break the ice for me, right? Because I have
Mhm,
social anxiety. So, and I wanted to meet him, and I just kind
mhm.
of at that point in time, I kind of just wanted to gawk at his wife, to be quite honest. So
Who
I bought
doesn't?
the man a beer, handed him, and I sat it down on the table. I go, "This is for you, Miss. Thank you for all the entertainment. I appreciate what you do, and thank you." And went to walk away. Well, he grabbed my arm and said, "No, no, no, come here, sit down. Have a beer
Oh,
with me." And we talked, and he talked to me like I was like you and I are talking right now, like two friends having a
such a
conversation
good
about things they
person.
love. And then he said, "Thank you for the beer. Um, I appreciate that. What are you having for food?" And I said, "Well, my friends and we haven't even ordered yet. We're just kind of playing video games and killing a day of no school."
Mhm.
Well, he paid for our meal.
Oh, wow. What
I
a good guy.
how do you go from being this guy that I inspired to be like, to entertain, to being like a friend now, and
And
like it's just
The
have
Miz,
those
isn't he?
experiences.
Wasn't his championship run a heel run?
Yeah, yeah, dude, he was a
Mhm.
heel, and he was like all nice and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but he
ironic, wouldn't you say?
right. It's just I expected him to throw the beer at me and be like, "Fuck you, you're nobody to me because I'm the mid." Right?
I'm the Miz
I was
and I'm awesome. I don't need your beer.
I was expecting that, and I would have
Mhm.
I would have taken the beer to the face and him yell at me and be like, "I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. You're nobody. Go away from me, peasant." You know, I would have
Just be
taken
like,
it and
I
been
got
like, "Bro,
news.
he threw a beer at me." You know, but no, he legitimately was like, "No, no, no, bro, come sit down. Like, this is my wife, Maurice, and this is our." And he introduced me to everybody at the table, and
Aw,
like, "Oh,
that's
hey
so
guy, hey
nice.
guys," and people tend to forget. Yes, okay, they want their privacy. Yes, okay, they just want to be left
Mhm,
alone. I get that. I understand, and that's why I sat the beer down and said, thank you for everything you've done. I know you're the Miz. Here's your beer. I'm out. Thank you.
mhm. You went
I
in
just
there
want
with
to do
no
something nice.
expectation.
None. And as I was walking away, he grabbed my arm, sat me down, and said, "No, no, no, sit down. Hey, I'm gonna have this moment with you. Sit the fuck." You know what I mean? Like, we need
Yeah.
to have this moment because, I guess, I don't know. It was he just wanted to have a moment with a fan. You know,
Mhm.
but those are things like you will never forget your embarrassing moment, nor will I, and
No,
nor will I ever
no.
forget that moment of this guy just proved to me who a real superstar is
Mhm.
supposed to act.
That's what a professional acts like.
Yeah, not a hockey player that screams at you and tells you to go fly a kite and
Mhm.
get away from him. For 2
Yeah.
seconds of your time, I just wanted to say hi and shake your hand and be like, "Bro, I just shook Ty Domi's hand." Bro, the hand
Yeah.
that beats the shit out of people on the ice, I shook that hand. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't want I didn't want you to have, like, spend hours with me. I didn't want to be your best friend for life. No, I
Yeah.
just wanted to recognize you as a hero that I had,
Mhm.
and shake your hand. That's all I wanted.
Mhm.
And
And
that's kind of
realistically speaking, I mean, what's gonna transcend the time really is, he may have done all these great things within hockey, but at the end of
doesn't
the
matter
day,
to me.
yeah, if you're having a more positive outlook from the public, your stuff is more likely to be remembered. And it's all
Yeah,
about being what it is that you are in that industry, which for Domi and for Miz are professional athletes. And there's
yeah.
so many athletes out there that just false advertise themselves as
Oh yeah,
professionals,
yeah.
who don't care about the fans, they don't care about the interaction, but it's like you don't make your money unless someone is giving the people who give the money to you, which is the fans. The fans give the money to the company gives you your money. You might not like us and we might be annoying, but we're kind of important, and the
Yeah,
entertainment doesn't exist without us. If we're not watching it, who is?
exactly,
It's just a
exactly.
money pit. So it
Like,
really is up to the professionals to actually live up to that expectation of professionalism. And it sounds like we know a
exactly.
few who do.
Yeah, well, exactly. You got to think. Rosie, great guy. He could have just been like, "Yeah, here you go, Kate, go away,"
Hmm.
and ignored me. Same with
Hmm.
Petey Williams. He could have been like, "Dude, relax, like, fuck off." Because
Yeah.
listen, if he would have told me to fly a kite, I'd have been like, "Yeah, sorry, dude, bye." Because I
What
acted like
color and where?
total, total little schoolgirl that got the new dress and went, "Oh my god, it's a new dress." No, my stupid ass goes, "Oh my god, it's Petey Williams." But
Yeah, yeah.
he again controlled the situation,
Mhm.
got me to calm down a bit, shook the man's hand, told him, I've been watching your career since you were in Windsor, before TNA. I knew
Wow.
who you were before TNA. And he went, holy crap, dude. For real. I'm like, yeah. And I even apologized. I'm like, I'm sorry I just acted like that, but I wasn't expecting to walk around the corner and see fucking Maple Leaf Muscle, PD Williams standing there. Okay, you caught me off guard, bro. But acted a professional. Again, The
Mhm,
Miz could have, because he was a heel, and I
mhm,
mean a great heel. Okay, let's not beat
mhm,
around the. He's when he is a heel or a face, he is 100% into it.
mhm,
And I've heard even off camera and out in public, he acts the heel.
mhm,
He'll ignore you. I'm awesome and you're not. Like
mhm,
I was
mhm,
expecting to get that beer, that $7 beer that I bought, tossed in my face. I was expecting it, and
mhm,
it didn't happen, and that threw me the fuck off
mhm.
to where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk away. And he grabbed my arm. No, 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 sit down. Let's chit chat. Cool. Um,
True professional.
Now even indie wrestlers, okay. Let's
Mhm.
take note of some indie wrestlers. And I assume that your man is still an indie wrestler.
Correct, yeah.
And I bet you, being if he's a heel or not, I bet you if someone come up and asked, had a picture, can you sign this for me? I bet you he would take that minute out of his time and
Oh,
sign
yes.
that picture. Okay. My
Yeah.
character, example, Bubba Duke, was the ultimate heel for here in Canada.
Mhm,
Okay. The storyline, well, I'm a superhero back in Georgia, the deep south, because I'm running the rebel flag, Dukes of Hazard
mhm,
stuff, right? Everything. I'm the heel, I'm
mhm,
the face there. Come here, I'm a super heel. Kid asked me for an autograph. Yeah, kid, no problem. Here you go. Take a picture, sure, no
mhm.
problem. Okay, I'm gonna put you in a headlock, little dude, like I'm gonna beat you up, okay? Kid's like, yeah, do it, do it, do it. Okay. So you do that for them, and that kid will remember, like I did,
Mhm,
that professional wrestler took 2 minutes out of his busy day of being an asshole, signed a picture, took a
mhm.
picture, and gave me a high five and put me in a headlock. It takes 2 seconds to sign a damn picture and take a picture
Absolutely,
with a child that
absolutely.
just put money in your pocket. Because not only did they have to buy your picture for $1 or $2 or whatever you charge for it,
Mhm,
okay, but they paid that ticket price to sit their ass there and watch you get your ass beat or beat somebody
mhm,
for 2 hours, and you can't sign an autograph for that kid. You can't
mhm,
give 2 seconds out of your time for that kid that just put money in your pocket.
mhm.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't get paid much as a indie wrestler because I didn't give a shit about the money. It wasn't
Mhm,
about that for me. It was about coming in with a great group of guys, hanging out, doing what we all love, and putting on a
mhm,
little show.
mhm.
Who cares about the
Yeah.
fucking money? This is where shit needs to get
Exactly.
revamped. Who
I
cares
agree.
about the money? Who cares? Either do it because you love it, or there's the door, and we don't need you here
Mhm.
because you're not going to put the same effort in that I'm going to put in.
I actually have an interesting story about the negative aspect of that. I'm not gonna use any names because I don't wanna throw the guy
Under
under
the
the
bus.
bus, but, there was a local show where a friend of mine had went, and he actually went to support a lot of the local guys because
Okay.
that's what he does. He's known as one of the local super fans. So
Yes.
he went to he got the special VIP ticket
Which
price,
all of us love to do. Yep.
yeah, which guarantees a meet and greet with all of the wrestlers, hypothetically speaking. Um, so he actually went to go meet one of these wrestlers, and he has a like a bag of different color
Okay.
Sharpies so that he can have it signed however color scheme he wants.
That's
And he was
cool.
looking for a specific color. to match this guy's gear. The guy
Woo!
demanded money for the autograph that the kid had already paid for. And this person has a very close association to a very well known, very popular, world renowned wrestler. The fact that he thought that he could cop this kind of attitude with somebody, you can tell how my tone changed. I'm not happy about it. I'm very annoyed that this person thought that they were above this. So my friend
No.
posted about it. And what annoyed me further is that the company did not acknowledge it.
They what?
They did not acknowledge it. They acknowledged his other complaint within the post, but they completely disacknowledged the fact that their worker tried to charge them for an autograph that they had already paid for. To me, it's a little shameful. And I agree, things need to change. People need to understand, again, we are the ones who provide the money. You might get sponsorships and stuff, but you can't continue to
Yep.
run shows by bringing in other people or paying your talent or paying for the venue and all the other expenses you have
Mm-hmm.
if the fans don't want to go because they're feeling disrespected by either the company or the workers for the
Or
company.
yeah, see, we did the same thing. We had that. If you had the VIP ticket, it said VIP really big on it. That means
Mm-hmm,
they got a your free 8x10 with an
mm-hmm,
autograph, and they got to take a picture with you.
mm-hmm.
That's
That
part of
makes
the
sense
VIP.
to me. That
Now, if
justifies
you
it.
if you don't have the VIP ticket, you just have a standard admission. Okay, the most I charged for an 8x10 was $2. That came with an autograph.
Mm-hmm,
And hey, you want to take a picture with me? Cool. It's your camera. Let's go.
mm-hmm. And that's usually how it works here too, for the most part. The
Yeah.
VIPers usually get guarantees, and then the general admin they're kind of responsible on their own, but they still get the opportunity. It's just not as guaranteed as the VIPs.
Just wait in
That to
line.
me makes sense,
I
and
would
it helps
stay
you
for
guys get more
hours.
money, right?
Yeah. Like after a show, I would stay for hours.
Mm-hmm,
Oh, there's 3, 4 people in my line. Okay, just give me a couple minutes with this person. You're next. No
mm-hmm,
problem. I would give that person, whether you had a VIP ticket or not, you were having a moment
mm-hmm,
with Bubba Duke.
mm-hmm.
It
And that's
was
how
your
it should be.
moment. And again, like I said, I wasn't there for the money. The money didn't mean shit to me because it was,
Mm-hmm,
well, I could buy a coffee basically. Um, for me, it was the entertainment factor, the personal factor of getting to have that moment with those people, even if they were adults. I had adults come up and act like total fools like I did.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, can I have your autograph? And oh, can I get a picture with you,
Hey, but
please?
that means you did your job right, though, right?
And I'm the heel, and I have people coming like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
can I? Like I had, because at that point in time I was in security. Um, my teacher that was teaching me use of force showed up at a show that I was at, and he had the poster, so I signed the poster for him. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'll sign." And I don't even think he knew who I was. 'Cause I had my mask on, right? And I don't take my mask off for fucking nobody. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Um, like I would, you are the biggest faux pas, or not even faux pas. The biggest thing that I hated was people pulling on my mask while we were in a match. I would
Oh, yeah.
lose.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
lose my shit. Don't ever try to pull my mask off. Don't ever.
It's very
Like
much a respect thing.
I and for me, I wore the mask for the simple fact of simply, number one, I didn't want people to know who the fuck I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I know that you know who I am, I can't do my job. It throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I grew up loving the shit out of luchador wrestling. Love it. Like it was,
There's certain rules with that, yeah.
and they have all of them wear masks. And
Mhm,
not a
mhm,
single one of them ever took their mask off. Like
mhm,
some of them, other than when they got home to go to bed, they would take their mask off, obviously, right? But you wake up in the
mhm,
morning, you do your thing, eat whatever, and as soon as you go to leave the house, that mask goes back on because that's who you are.
mhm, mhm.
You live
Exactly,
that
yeah.
character. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do out of respect for this thing that I grew up absolutely loving and respecting. Okay, I'm wearing a mask out of respect for every luchador that ever wore one and
Mhm.
every luchador that's going to come after me to wear a mask and to keep that tradition of wearing a mask alive. So
Good.
I it's the exact reason why I wore one because I respected the shit out of these guys, not only
Mhm.
for their ability to wrestle, but their ability to be in character
Mhm.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because in Mexico, they're like
Oh, so different.
superheroes,
Yeah,
right?
so
Even
different.
in
The culture down
Japan,
there is incredible.
even in Japan, they wear masks
Mhm.
and they understand this legend and stuff that goes with this wearing a mask. So I was like,
Mhm.
dude, I grew a goatee, super long, and nobody knew that I had other facial hair because you couldn't see it, right?
Okay.
But oops, but I had a huge long red neck, bright red because of my hair being red, goatee, and had the mask on. I still have the mask; it's packed up though, and that's what I did. That was me. I was Bubba Duke,
Awesome. It's very
and you,
interesting to see the lucha libre difference. Not to get too into the
yeah, it's
another
wow.
topic here, but like I recently in June, um, the one of the shows that I was going to, my boyfriend was actually going to be wrestling Arrow Boy, and Arrow Boy is another lucha libre with the mask. So when I had seen him up until that point, it was always with his mask on. When he walked into my home, he didn't have the mask, and I was like,
No,
"Who is this?"
you're like, why is this guy who babe, what
Yeah,
are you doing? Who's that guy? And then he
kind of like,
explains to you, this is who this is him. See,
So
and
like seeing him
even
without the mask, I was like, "No,
yeah,
I don't.
no,
I
you didn't
refuse
want
to
that.
acknowledge
No,
this."
you're not who that guy says you are. No, I refuse. No, I refuse.
Yep.
Satan be gone.
Pretty much like,
But
la la la, I don't see you.
in Mexico, though, in Mexico, the true lucha libre going to your house would have wore that mask.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And that's just the way it is. You know me
Mhm,
because you know this mask. Somebody else
mhm,
could put this mask on and you would never know the difference,
mhm,
right? That's
mhm.
kind of like, and that's what I love
Except
about
for with Arrow Boy, you
lucha.
could tell by, all of the scars.
Well, you know what I mean. But that's what I love about lucha libre, and I wish that Ricochet didn't have to change his name and didn't have to take his mask off and didn't have to,
Mhm,
because to me that it bugs me. Like, I yes, I've
mhm.
seen Rey Mysterio without his mask. Yeah, I have. He looks like a little 2-year-old kid.
Have you seen, what's his name? Mystico, the new Mystico, without his mask on?
No,
That is the stuff of nightmares.
that's why he wears a mask.
That is why he wears the mask.
But I had, and still to this day have a huge love and respect for the lucha libre wrestling.
Mhm,
Hence why I watch Lucha Underground. Anytime it's on my TV. Whether I'm watching it or not, it's on my TV.
mhm.
Uh, Hence why I was watching it when we first started. It was it and it's not even just the fact that they wear masks. No, because a mask's a mask. Like, I could put a piece of paper over my face and call it a mask. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm,
it's the detail to the character portrayed in that mask.
mhm,
Forget the
mhm.
rest of the outfit that the guy has on, or what he wears to the ring, or what fire breathing trick he's whatever. But you see that mask and you instantly know, okay, that's Rey Mysterio, or
Mhm.
that's Drago, or that's
Mystico,
the yeah, the
Atlantis.
you can name off billions of guys that wrestle with masks.
Mhm.
And everybody's gonna be like, dude, I've seen that guy wrestle, or I've heard of him.
Even Salvador Jr.'s mask is pretty popular still, and he hasn't worn it for years.
Exactly, right? Like, I mean, I
Mhm.
ordered my mask off a lucha wrestling website The
I
last
now
one
have
that
to get
the
an
only one that
arrow
they had, I went, "Boop, I want that one because it's got the rebel flag on it because that goes with
Nice.
my character." When
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think Dukes, what do you think? You think the General Lee, Uncle Jesse, Daisy, and the rebel flag on top of that car.
Mhm.
So I literally just went, "Okay, rebel flag. I'm at heart, I'm a great guy, good guy. Try my hardest to be the nicest guy, you know." And, but my character was the complete opposite of who I really am. That you would never believe this nice, good-hearted young country guy was that character. You'd never believe it. With my, I could take the mask off, you'd never know who I was. That's why I did
It's
it.
fu it's funny because like, a lot of guys do that. You find that you'll have those supreme heels who, like, everyone's afraid of or hates or anything
Yeah,
like that. Um, Here locally, it was, a guy before he retired, Duke Durango, had a reputation for being like that. He's just very, you
yeah.
know, I wouldn't say foul mouth, but he's certainly very quick-witted and can insult you at the
In a
drop of a
heartbeat,
hat.
right?
But you talk to him on a personal kind of basis, nicest, most
Different character.
respectful human being, you wouldn't even know it. I believe he's
Oh,
actually running a podcast, out here also.
that would be
I
cool.
don't remember
I
what it's called. I'll have
should
to
find that
look it
out.
up, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's me. Like good Christian man, family guy. You know, believe in God 100%. You know, that's my thing.
Mhm.
And then getting that ring, and I've cussed out everybody in the arena and pissed them off, and they want to
Mhm,
leave. They
mhm,
want their money back because I've gone out of the ring at this point. A girl's got a big banner she's holding up because it's her dad's a professional wrestler too, and
mhm.
I've ripped that banner in 3 4 different and got back in the ring and told her this guy sucks, and you know
Aw.
flipping people off, just telling them, well, you're retarded, get out, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night they're booing me, and I'm like, yes, yes, as my character, I've done my job. They hate me. They want me
Mhm,
dead. They want to string me up
mhm.
outside because I'm wearing a rebel flag. And oh yeah, just it's great. And then I mask comes off, and I'm, hey babe, where do you want to go for supper? Or how are the kids? How are the kids? Like totally 180-degree
Mhm,
change because, and this is where people get messed up. This is where shit kind of goes sideways. Some people can draw that line. This is who I really am. This is
mhm,
my character. Okay, so that, again, another reason I wore the mask. Okay, babe, as soon as this mask comes on, we're not together. You don't know
mhm,
who I am. You don't know nothing about this guy. Don't take anything I say personally because it's just a character.
mhm,
Mask comes on. Hey, babe, I love you. Did you enjoy the show? How was it?
mhm,
You know? And a lot of people I find that don't have that ability to take, and we'll go quotes here, masks on and off, or
mhm,
shirt or tights, whatever,
mhm,
however, whatever, can't differentiate between their character and who they really are.
mhm, mhm.
And that's,
And we
I
see a
find,
lot of examples of that.
the biggest examples. Scott Hall, God
Mhm,
rest his soul.
mhm,
Even Hulk Hogan has had his issues.
mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, like
Mhm,
all these great wrestlers that have had issues is because, and not all of them, because they have a hard time differentiating between who they really are and who their character is. Because
separating
back
the two from
then,
them.
but you got to remember, back then you had to be that character, like Macho Man. You had to be Macho Man all the time
Mhm,
because
mhm,
that's the way things were back then. You were that character 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 to 66 days a year. You know,
mhm,
you had, when you were out in public, you weren't just Jim Snyder. You were Macho Man Randy Savage or
mhm,
Hulk Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior. These
mhm,
were who you had to be. nowadays I find that guys can differentiate between who they are and who their character is,
Mhm.
but refuse to be who they are because they want to be their character, because they want all that
Mhm.
attention. They want.
Mhm. Mhm.
Guys, it's not about you. Okay. It's
Mhm.
never, you even said it yourself 2 minutes ago. It's not about you, it's about the fan. If that fan wants 2 seconds of your time to say, "Hey, you're my favorite wrestler. Can I shake your hand? Can I have a picture with you?" Or the people like you and I go, "Oh my god!" take 2 seconds. Take 2 seconds with that person and just, "Hey, thank you for being a super fan. I appreciate it."
Mhm. It takes
That
so little to be a good person nowadays. And even if you are the heel, there's still ways that you can give a positive moment, or a moment that that fan will take with them and remember in a positive light, that
without breaking
will
character.
not ruin your image as well.
Yeah,
There was
like
actually a
me.
tag team here locally that I personally disliked. I personally think that both of the people, both in the ring and out of the ring, are not great people,
It
but
sucked.
they had this ability because they were heels. They would
Hmm.
come out at intermission. They wouldn't go to the merchandise table to like sign autographs and take pictures, but they
Hmm.
would come to the ringside and stay on the other side of the barricade and harass people at ringside.
Yep.
And they loved it. And by they, not just the guys who clearly
Yeah.
just liked to talk crap to people, but the fans. The
Yeah.
fans loved it because it was a moment. It was an interaction that they wouldn't normally get, because these guys, you didn't want to interact with them on social medias because they were dicks, they were togos.
Yeah.
Um, so having that moment, that public moment, was more acceptable than being bullied by them on their socials. But they
Yeah.
did it so well, and even though I disliked them, it was something that they did that made sense and still gave the crowd what they wanted while still maintaining their bad guy personas.
Yeah. It's not hard.
No,
Literally,
you just
kid
have
wants a
to think.
picture with you, like I did. Kid wants a picture with you. Put him in a headlock. Go, "Okay, mom, take
Yeah,
your picture now. Take, see that," and you poke him a little bit and see. Yeah, you got. Hey, yeah, you want a picture with the bad guy? Do you? Here, this is what you get. That kid
yeah.
is gonna remember that because you're not gonna pop the kid's head out. You're just holding him a little bit, going, "Yeah, take your picture, mom. Come on."
Mhm.
Like, "You're wasting
And
my
even if
time.
you
Hurry
can
up."
sync it a little bit, get the kid squiggling a little bit, that looks
Yeah,
even
like
better.
it's not hard, and he's gonna remember that moment.
Exactly.
I got put
E
in a headlock by the bad guy. Ha ha ha. You didn't.
and even if it's just the individual that has it, the word of mouth is still one of the best ways to market yourself. So that
Yep.
kid's gonna go to his friends and be like, "Hey, I went to this wrestling show this weekend and this big guy put me in a headlock, but I got to
Yeah.
talk smack to him afterwards, and you should come with me next time." And suddenly the friends are
Exactly.
interested in going, and then they tell their other friends, and it's like
It
it's
blows
the
up.
simplest way to ensure that you have return fans.
Exactly. And new fans.
Mhm.
It takes 2 seconds. Kid wants an
Seconds.
autograph. Kid wants an. What do you want my autograph for? I don't hand autographs to anybody. What are you talking about? Autograph? What? Ah,
But
give me
still
that picture. I
signing it
want
while you're saying all of that.
like, give me that picture. Like, come on. Like, you want me to do what? You want me to do this? Like, why would I? Look how silly that. Get that thing out of here. You know what I mean? It takes a couple seconds,
Exactly. Just a
and you can
little
do
bit
that
of
over and over
creativity
again.
and a little bit of time.
You want a picture? I don't want to give the kid a head. I don't want to take a picture with you and put his head down, right? And you taking a
Yeah,
picture of you give him a noogie or something. Like,
yeah.
why would I
You
take a
make it
picture with
work.
you? Like, dude, like you said, the kid's gonna remember that. Tell his
Mhm,
buddies, "Hey, dude, I was at the wrestling. He put me in a headlock. My mom's got a
mhm,
picture of it. I even got him to sign a picture, and he said he would never sign in a picture, and he signed my picture." Like,
mhm,
dude,
mhm.
it's not hard to be a professional wrestler. It's not hard. It's
No,
not.
no.
The training doesn't mean shit to me. It don't. I learned yes, okay, I got some sort of training, yes, because obviously, but it's how you interact with your fans and the show you put on with another professional wrestler that makes professional wrestling wrestling.
100%.
And I'm sure your boyfriend could vouch for it. I'm sure he's wrestled guys that have been to professional wrestling schools and are total douchebags, and guys that did
Oh.
backyard wrestling that got training from another wrestler
Mhm.
and put on a better match.
We're in Alberta. We've got a lot of those. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
no, yeah, my partner, he's wrestled some big names. He's wrestled Scott Steiner. He's wrestled Jeff Cobb. He wrestled Arrow Boy. Um, yeah, he's wrestled some really great names, and he's had incredible matches with them also. But
right.
something that my man is also very big on is the fan interaction, and because of that fan interaction, he is a very, very over character. And he's that character who comes out at intermission, who comes out at the end of the show, and he
Yeah,
takes every picture. He signs every autograph. He gives every hug. He has every conversation, sometimes much to the annoyance of other people because,
who cares?
yeah, he's a handsome man. I mean, he's a vampire, for goodness sakes. Like, the ladies love him. So,
Oh,
he does do a lot of interactions with a lot of people, and he's very, very popular as a result. I do find when he does try to act heel or he does try to come off as a heel,
it
he
don't work
struggles. He struggles a
because
lot
it's not
because
him.
everyone loves him. They don't want to hate him. But in some cities, he's able to actually get the crowd to hate him a little bit. But he has to work harder, way, way harder to make them hate him and be
Yeah,
so over the top animated to get them to hate him just because of how much he networks and markets himself as a professional after the show.
yeah, that's yeah. You kind of, and that's kind of a problem in itself.
Mhm,
Is if you want to be a heel, you can't really go do these things that he's used to doing as a baby face
exactly.
because it's not gonna it's gonna blow up at you. It's not gonna work.
Mhm,
Where guys like me, um, the heel thing came naturally.
mhm.
Unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately because it's not who I am. So I literally just went, okay, this is what I know. No, do the complete opposite. You want to say hi to somebody, be like, "F you." I don't talk to me, you know. But I would love to see some video. You have to
Mhm,
send me a link of, and I'm gonna put it up on my
mhm,
big screen and watch it one time.
mhm,
'Cause
mhm,
I love being introduced to new wrestlers. Um, because then I can be like, hey, you guys want to check this? You want something new to watch? I've been watching whatever character, and you
mhm,
need to check this out because being exposed to different wrestling styles and different wrestlers, I think, is a good thing for not
mhm,
only the business because now
mhm.
you're out in Alberta. I'm in Ontario. How I've never been to Alberta, so how am I going to ever know
Mhm,
about these unless I am talking to somebody like you who lives out there
mhm.
and is dating the guy to to get exposed to these new aspects of wrestling because I'm sure
Mhm,
his wrestling style is completely different than mine and it's completely different than the guy that I got trained from and you know what I mean?
mhm.
Well, it goes down the line.
Yeah. He's
And
done
then
a
it
lot
gives
of training
exposure.
camps all over, but he also spent 2 months in Mexico training with, Arrow Boy and, I always butcher this guy's name, Pernalinko?
Good luck. Perlinko. No.
Yeah, he trained with
Interesting.
them for 2 months in, Tulancingo, just outside of Mexico City.
Good for
So
him.
he was trained there. He did the Harley race training camp.
Nice.
He's wrestled, at Top Talent Wrestling Academy. He's wrestled in BC.
Yep.
When he was actually a lucha himself, he actually wrestled all over the US with his tag partner, Kamikaze. Two of them were
Whoa.
very, very good.
Whoa. Kamikaze. I
Hmm.
I've heard. Well, hold on here. I've heard that name, but I cannot remember where I've heard it.
He's got a
Oh,
reputation out here for being an incredible talent when he was actively wrestling.
why is
I know what
I
your
may
search
have
history is going to look after.
I may have seen your significant other wrestle. I actually may have seen that. Not
Uh, his,
live,
his,
but I might have seen it on a video.
I think his name was Eclipse before. Eclipse and Kamikaze.
I'm
I'll send you
people
pictures.
do your research. I might have to look this. Why does that ring a bell?
I know what your search history is going to look like after.
Seen a lot of New Japan and local wrestling from Alberta. I yeah, because that name sounds really familiar.
I'm noticing my partner is starting to message me now. Why are you on another show?
Oh, I'm telling my story. It was totally random. I did
Totally last second.
I did not expect it, and it's been 3 hours, so I apologize for the
Yeah.
length of time. But it's been incredible getting to talk with you and just getting to know what you like for wrestling. This is what the Boar's Nest is about: making new friends and having fun listening to what they like.
Mhm.
I think where'd my mouse go? I gotta be careful because my TV's hooked up to my my TV's hooked up to my desktop. So when I go too far one way, it goes right over to my TV.
Oh,
But
it
I
disappears
would
on
like to
you.
say thank you very much for coming to the Boar's Nest and having a great time. 3 hour show, was not expecting to do three. I was thinking an hour because usually nobody comes in and talks very much. But I
As soon as you offer me a platform for NJPW, here I am.
you are welcome to come bust down some new Japan Pro Wrestling here anytime you want and keep us in the loop here at the Boar's Nest anytime. Doors always open. Um, Again, thank you so much for coming. You and if he wants to jump on anytime in character, has to be in character. He is welcome to come on and I will interview him on the spot anytime he wants. I will make things up as I go. Pretty much what we did today. We just kind of went with the flow. That's what I love to do.
Mhm, mhm.
Natural, whatever happens, happens. Again, Mel, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on the show. I
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much. Again, last second thing, but I'm always
That's
willing
great.
to hop on.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, there you go, people. That was Mel Ball, the I will call her the professional New Japan Pro Wrestling lady. She is the one that you want to talk to when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Again, my name is Bubba Duke, your hostess with the mostest. I would like to say one more thing. Thank you so much to everybody that showed up and participated in the show today. If you ever want to listen to some good wrestling talk, the people over at Love Wrestling definitely do a good job. The Between Two Beards gentlemen know what they're talking about when it comes to wrestling. And look up Melball if you want to hear some awesome New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff. Again, my name is Bubba Duke. This is the Boar's Nest, and I'm